Now, this is case number 118 on the calendar in the matter of Cochan versus Jeter. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Cochan, it is your claim that you made a loan to the defendant for her to have breast augmentation surgery.
Correct.
And in addition, you paid some of her bills while she was recuperating.
Yes.
You want to be reimbursed for this loan. Ms. Jeter says that there was no loan. You did this because you were sort of infatuated with her, and there was no expectation that you would ever be repaid for the money that you gave her. So let's just cut to the chase. Are you a very rich man?
I do all right.
Yes,
Well,
he is definitely a rich man.
We'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Do you give to charity? Don't look down. That's a very simple question. The words, if you're a rich man,
No.
You don't. You don't. So you're not a philanthropist?
No.
So there had to be a reason, sir, why you decided to loan money to somebody that you weren't related to for a surgical procedure that was not necessary. You know, she wasn't having a kidney replaced. Why don't you tell me why you did that?
Well, she was a tenant of mine for a while. And when she moved in, she cleaned the apartment up that she lived in. She cleaned it up very well, better than most of the people I hired to do that. So as time went on, as apartments came available, I would ask her if she wanted to do it. And she was making $200 an apartment, doing one a day. You know, at her age, making $1,000 a week, it was pretty good money. We live in Las Vegas, and women with big breasts get better jobs. It's a fact.
She doesn't need that if she's just doing house cleaning.
Correct, but she doesn't want to be a housekeeper forever.
I assume not from the outfit she chose to wear to court that she doesn't want to be a house cleaner forever. You still don't answer my question, sir. My question was, why did you loan Miss Jeter, your tenant/house cleaner, money for breast surgery?
Because she came to me and asked for it. And I thought it would be a good loan because at the time she was making a lot of money for me.
Well, tell me about the time she came to you, sir, and asked you for the loan.
We were at an apartment.
Okay.
And she
you
basically
went...
said she got...
Okay, and when was this?
Early part of November of '03.
And you say to her, and she says to you, let me have it.
She says she doesn't like doing this anymore. She wants to get into something else, work in the casino. And if she had breast augmentation, it would help her get a good job. So at that time, she asked me for it.
What did she ask you?
To buy her, to loan her the money to get breast augmentation.
And you said?
I don't know. And it took a while, you know, a little bit of persistence over the next couple of weeks, till finally I gave in, said, okay.
Did you ever say to her, why don't you just put this on your credit card since you're making this kind of good money? You can pay off your credit card. Bada bing, bada boom.
'Cause she,
2 months.
She didn't have a credit card.
Well, she could pay off the doctor.
Doctor wouldn't finance her.
How do you know that?
Because she went to the doctor and the doctor said he wouldn't.
How do you know that?
She told me.
So then you asked her that question. Is that what you're telling me, Mr.
I pretty much assumed that.
No.
There's no way she could do
Don't listen
that.
to me. Don't assume anything. When I ask you a question, give me an answer. Not a makeup. Not a what you suppose.
Okay, what was the question one more time?
The question was, why couldn't she finance the surgery by paying off the doctor? And you said to me, because the doctor wouldn't accept payments. And I said, how do you know that? And you said, well, I just pretty much surmised.
Well,
so the answer is, I don't know.
It's my credit.
I didn't speak to you.
Okay.
You see, what I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Cochan, is if you're going to be honest with me, sir. You left out the fact that you and Miss Jeter dated a few times, according to what I read here. Is that right?
correct.
Well, why didn't you put that in? You made it appear as if this was a strictly business relationship, sir.
We went out a couple times. That wasn't a relationship.
How many times is a couple of times?
3, a couple dinners, a movie.
Okay. And at the time that you loaned her the money, when was the time immediately prior to that that you had been out on a date with her?
It was after that.
So after you loaned her the money, you went out on several dates?
3 dates.
Now, after December, did you try to see her again? Did you try to date again?
No, we just didn't really get along. We were just different people.
Is that right?
Definitely.
Did you ask her out again?
No.
Any particular reason for that?
We just didn't seem to get along. We didn't click.
Now, in January I assume Miss Jeter went back to work, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
How much money did she give you in January?
On January 12th, she cleaned an apartment for me, which I credit her $200.
Is that right, Miss Jeter?
Yes.
Okay. When's next, Mr. Cochran?
Then on January 16th, which I assume she got paid on the 15th from her job at the time, she gave me $100. Then on February 1st, she gave me another $100. And then on February 14th, she gave me another $100. So she paid me back a total of $500.
Out of how much?
Out of a total of $5,050.
I'll hear you.
He pretty much put it in my head that he wanted to do that for me, okay? He gave me the idea since
How did he put that in your head?
Because I told him that what I wanted to do for a job, okay, and that was cocktail in Las Vegas. I've already been offered a job in Las Vegas to do that. And it's just easier to get a job having this operation done when I had nothing before. And so he said, well, yeah, you know, his ex-girlfriend had it done, and so he told me that that'd be a good idea. So he made me feel like it was okay to ask him to do that. Okay, as far as paying him back goes, nothing was supposed to come out of my pocket cash-wise. I was supposed to just clean his apartments out, but none came available after my operation was done. I was healed and everything. So I had to get a new job and just to pay my bills off, and I wanted to move because it's a bad area.
Yeah, but if I don't have a part...
Just a second. What you're saying to me was it was a loan.
Okay.
And you were supposed to pay him back. Stop twisting your head. Can you keep your head still, please? You look like a
It just keeps
back
getting
of
in
a
my
car.
face. Sorry.
What you're telling me is that what you were supposed to do is pay him back in kind by cleaning the apartments for which you were paid $200 an apartment, and you were going to pay him back from that, but that after January, apartments didn't become available. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you also, in the same breath, said to me that you wanted to get away from that area because it's a bad area. So was it your intention to go back to the complex to do cleaning to pay off this loan?
Yeah, that was before I had gotten my job already, that I had to pay the bills to pay to get out of that place.
But that new job, I assume, didn't leave you the same kind of free time as your previous work, if any, so that there was no time for you, even if apartments became available, to clean the apartments. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Get her a copy of my book.
He didn't
Going to get her a copy of the book.
As giving me work, okay? No apartments were available, so I had to get a job where I could have money, and so I could pay my bills. And he didn't lead up, you know, he didn't live up to his part of the bargain. So.
Yeah, but if apartment...
Shh. I got it. I just laid it out. Sir, did you ever hear the story, there's no fool like an old fool? Right? Right. You're not so old, but you're pretty foolish. Better give your money to charity. Do you understand? There are all kinds of worthwhile charities around. The breast augmentation surgery doesn't fall under that category. Do I make myself clear? All right. She owes you $4,550. She doesn't dispute the amount, only that it was a loan. It was a loan. Pay it back. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I loaned her money and she didn't pay it back. So now we came to court and it's solved, and hopefully I'll get paid back now.
How do you live without money, right? And I have to pay bills, and, you know, he's interfering with that, so.
No, we dated a few times and it didn't work out, and that was the end of it. We ended it.
I'm just glad it's over with, and I'll definitely never get myself in this situation again.
I guess justice prevailed. I won.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCaskill versus Poole. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Matt McCaskill is suing his schoolmate, 16-year-old Anthony Poole, and his father, Rob Poole. Matt claims Anthony keyed his truck.
Mr. McCaskill, there's your claim that Mr. Poole, this young man, keyed your car.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Poole says that he did not do that. I assume you're his father?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't present, is that right?
No.
You're here only because he's a minor.
That's correct.
You can sit down. When do you say that Mr. Poole keyed your car, sir?
February 25th.
Where?
On the driver's door to the driver's
No,
door.
not where on the car.
Oh.
Where was the car?
Oh, it was at the Midlothian High School parking lot.
What time?
3:40.
And where were you?
I was sitting in my truck.
Well, tell me about that, sir.
It was, I had just arrived, and I was waiting for my girlfriend to get out, and he was in football, which they had got out a little early at 3:40, which the bell rings at 3:45 each day. I had seen him walking down the parking lot. It was rainy, and my windows on my truck are dark, and when he was coming down, he walked between the two trucks and pulled his key out of his...
Walk between which two trucks?
My truck and the truck to the left of me. And he walked through, he pulled out his key out of his left pocket and ran it from the driver's door to the driver's bed, and I had got out.
Okay. Did you know Mr. Poole before?
I have known of him. I've never met him.
Had you ever seen him before?
Yes, ma'am.
Where had you seen him before?
I had seen him at school and the Whataburger parking lot in Midlothian.
Immediately prior to the 25th of February, when had you seen him? A week, 2 weeks?
About a week.
Did you have any conversation with him?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so after you saw him key your car, what did you do?
I got out and started yelling at him to get back, and...
To get back where?
To get back over here because of what he had done, in which he had ran to the football fields, or where they play, which is also the baseball field house.
Did you follow him?
Yes, the two eyewitnesses that had seen him were in a 1984 Chevrolet Suburban, in which I hopped in with them and we drove down there.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you file the police report on that day, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When was the next time you saw Mr. Poole?
He had ran into the coach's office saying that I was threatening to beat him up, and which he came out running, apologizing that he accidentally did it with his bag and that he would pay for all costs, and he was sorry. And
who did he say this in front of?
Well, the principals had just arrived down there, and the two coaches that were in the coach's office, because they had taken them into his office while I was outside because I was pretty steamed up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Over here on the map where he was walking between the two cars, one of the kids slammed the door open on his chest, and that's why he was...
Not this person.
No, we're not saying that he did it.
But sit down.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Matt McCaskill says classmate 16-year-old Anthony Poole keyed his truck. Anthony is denying the charge.
Do you have any other school reports?
No, I don't, but I have pictures and estimates.
I'll take a look at the pictures. Is this your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you buy it with your own money?
Yes, ma'am.
How long do you have it?
I just had got it probably 2 weeks prior to the incident.
Is this your first car?
No, it was my second one. My mom had bought my first one, and I told her that she could have it back, and so...
So this is the first one you bought for yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Poole, now I'll hear you.
I walked out of the football field house. Before then, there was an incident at Whataburger. One of my friends told me some guys were making racial slurs about my girlfriend. One of the guys that he mentioned his name that I knew was in football. I said something to him. I asked them if they had something to say it to me. You don't say it to her, that's disrespectful. The next day, two guys were waiting outside the football field house. They're asking me to come over to the car saying, I bet you won't say something.
Look at me, sir. Don't look all over the place.
Yes, ma'am. They're asking me to come over to the car and say something to them.
Who was asking you to go over to what car?
I've never seen them before, or the car.
Was it Mr. McCaskill's car?
No, ma'am.
I don't know. I'm not following your story. Go ahead. Somebody wanted you to say something to somebody. Come on.
Oh.
Did you key his car?
No, ma'am.
No. When he was chasing you, why were you running away?
Because of the two people before him. They followed me in the parking lot.
When you got into the coach's office, did you say, I'll pay for the damage? Just listen to me carefully. When you got into the coach's office,
yes, ma'am,
did you say, I'll pay for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell your father that you said, I'll pay for the damage?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you tell your father that you said you would pay for the damage?
That night. But I said that I'd pay for it if my backpack left a scratch. He said on the statement that he heard me run by his car and a scratching sound. And I said, there's metal straps on my backpack. I said, maybe my backpack might have caused the scratching sound. Whenever I saw the keying mark, that wasn't from a backpack.
Mr. Poole,
Yes, ma'am.
do you know that if something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And there are certain things that are common sense. Let me tell you what they are.
Yes, ma'am.
If a 17-year-old spends his own money that he's worked for to buy a truck or a car, that's usually their prized possession. And if somebody damages that car, what they want to do is have the person who purposely damaged that car be held responsible. You want to say something,
Yes,
sir?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Stand up when you're talking.
Okay, excuse me, ma'am. The only thing that I witnessed physically was the red whelps on my son's chest from the incident with the, over here on the map where he was walking between the two cars. One of the kids slammed the door open on his chest, and that's why he was...
Not this
No,
person.
we're not saying that he did it.
He did nothing.
No.
Do you understand, Mr. Poole, what I just said?
Yes, I do.
A 17-year-old doesn't blame somebody else.
Unless in our...
Destroying their property, their car.
Right.
Unless it's the person who did it. Unless there is an overriding reason for them to do that.
Or unless he wants a new paint job.
Why would he blame your son? And why would your son say, I'll pay for the damage? What he did was, he caused the damage to the truck, and then he said, maybe it was an accident. Maybe my backpack, that's the story he's telling now, maybe my backpack, as I was walking by, hit the truck and scratched it. So all those things, Mr. Poole, are too serendipitous. The fact that he was there at the time that the truck was scratched. The fact that he witnessed the truck being scratched. The fact that he acknowledged after a chase that, well, maybe it was just, maybe I scratched it, but if I did, it was just by accident. Do you understand? He doesn't say he wasn't there, and he doesn't say he didn't scratch it. He said, if I scratched it, it was an accident. Are you following me?
Yes.
Good. Sit down. Can I see the estimates, please?
Yes.
Got to pay for the damage that you caused, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,196. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Another friend at the school, which is in his football class, had said something, but I had nothing to do because I was...
On the calendar in the matter of Sullivan versus Van Prague. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I have a claim, Officer Byrd, and I have a counterclaim. And these two people were involved in an incident of road rage. Each one of them got a little out of hand. So Miss Sullivan is suing the defendant for damage she says he did to her car when he kicked her car with a boot, I assume, that boot. And then for having her falsely arrested for assault. Mr. Van Prague says she did in fact assault him. He is suing her for that. And he's also suing her for damage she did to his motorcycle. When she pushed him off the motorcycle, he lost control of it and it was damaged. They're going to try to explain to me by the use of these charts why each of them was right. You were driving your car, Miss Sullivan. You were coming from where? Show me.
I was coming from here and was stopped at the stoplight there.
Stopped at a stoplight. And then according to what I sort of put together in your complaint, you got a phone call.
Yes.
While you were stopped at the stoplight.
Correct.
And that phone call said that somebody you knew was taken to the hospital. You had to change direction.
Correct. Later on down the road.
Now, show me where you had to go after you got this phone call.
The phone call was complete before I moved my car. The light was red. I was in this lane. I was going to have to be in number 2 lane later down the road because I did not want to get on the freeway. I wanted to go straight to the hospital. There's quite a bit of traffic, so I knew it was going to take me quite a while to get over, so I put my turn signal on. You have to keep this clear, and there was congestion all over, so when the light turned green, there was one other car in front of me. It proceeded through when it was safe and could clear the intersection. I slowly started to go through. I accelerated when I see I could make it through the intersection. Just as I entered the intersection, I went by my driver's side, and then cut in front of me, right about here where the median is.
Okay. So what did you do?
I flashed my lights at him, kind of like to say...
Just a minute.
Yes?
He passed you.
Correct.
Safely passed you. Didn't hit you.
Correct.
And you could have just kept on going and meandered over to the right.
Correct.
But you chose to flash your brights at him.
Correct.
In an act of road rage.
If you want to interpret that way.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay.
You flashed your lights on, hoping to annoy him, because he, according to you, went around you too fast and cut in front of you.
There is not a lane of traffic where he passed me.
What happened next?
Well, I proceeded, someone let me in, so after I made it through the intersection, I made it into the number 2 lane.
Good.
Traffic was stopped. My car wasn't completely in the number 2 lane. It was kind of like at an angle, but I was completely in the number 2 lane.
Okay, what happened next?
Traffic was stopped. I had an SUV next to me. I saw the headlight of the gentleman's motorcycle come out from behind the SUV, so I assumed he was going to go between the two of us, as many motorcycles do. And then I heard and felt something hit my car.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately got out because I figured he hit my car trying to go between us. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?"
You didn't say hell.
Yes, I said, "Hell."
No, it's not even what you say here, you said to him. What are you doing? Okay, you said, what are you doing?
Well, I didn't say I used profanity, as we both did. He started yelling at me, saying I tried to kill him. He said he kicked my car to get my attention. Mm-hmm. And that he yelled that I tried to kill him. Mm-hmm. And I said, "No, you're the one that did a evasive move in traffic through the intersection and cutting in front of me. You're the one that could have caused hurt." Okay, so words continued to go, just yelling back and forth. All I could see was his eyes and his mouth. He had a helmet on. And I saw something in his eye, and his whole body in the motorcycle came forward. And I just had a split reaction to defend myself. I put my hands out in front of me, extended my arms, and
you pushed
backed
him.
up. Correct.
Pushed him.
Correct.
Okay, and what happened when you pushed him?
He jumped off the bike.
Okay.
As I'm backing away, he went to lay the bike down. He had his hand on the handle of the grip, and as he laid it down, it kind of spun a little bit. It revved up. I saw the back tire turn. It made contact with the ground. The bike rotated once, twice. He reached back, and I guess it's the throttle or whatever, and stopped from revving. He started jumping around, yelling and screaming, and I continued to proceed to my car, backing up, got into my car. He yelled about calling the police. I said, "Go right ahead," and I'm going to. I wanted to leave the scene because I felt unsafe. I didn't know what he was going to do.
Well, Sullivan, why did you get out of your car in the first place?
It's just reaction. I thought he hit my car. It was an accident. We need to get out and exchange information. I didn't know he did it aggressively.
Well, once you realized what it was, why didn't you quickly get back into your car instead of standing out there in the street with traffic all around you, screaming and yelling at him?
I don't know. I guess I wanted him to hear my side. He said I tried to kill him. I said, "No, I didn't. You're the one that did something evasive and illegal."
Now, at some point, you say that the police arrived and you told them your side of the story. You told them your side of the story. Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But then the next day, you went to the police station.
Correct.
To file a supplementary report.
Correct.
Why?
Because when I came out, we had first looked, it was dark. They tried to look at the flashlight, and they couldn't see the dent in my car. You could see like the outline of a foot on each side. So when I came out the next morning, sun out, you could see the dent. So I went back to the police station just so they could put that in record that there was damage to my car.
All right. Can I see the initial police reports, please?
I had all the supplementals attached.
Now, when were you arrested for assault?
I wasn't arrested. I was charged.
Charged?
I received it in mid-April.
Good. Can I see it, please? It says that you did willfully and unlawfully use force upon a person, to wit, Anthony Von Prague. You did do that.
To protect myself, yes.
Well, I haven't heard protecting yourself. He didn't put his hands on you.
He had a 600-pound motorcycle that himself and the motorcycle moved towards me.
You say in your initial report to the police, you don't say that he lunged forward with his motorcycle. What you say is she got out of the car, she saw Von Prague. It's at one point she thought she saw Von Prague and his motorcycle lunge toward her. Out of instinct and self-defense, she put her hands out and pushed Von Prague on his right side. Okay? So you don't say that he moved the motorcycle. You say to the police, you thought he moved the motorcycle.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't gotten to him yet.
I understand.
I haven't gotten to him yet. I'm just telling you that I think that your behavior that day was stupid.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And what do you do when you come in contact with a nut?
The smart thing to do would be just to proceed in the opposite direction. Yes, Your Honor. So I knocked on her car once.
No, I'm not finished with my...
Okay, I'm sorry.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cindy Sullivan says fellow motorist Nico Van Prague kicked her car. Nico claims Cindy assaulted him.
Now, we're going to hear from you.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, Your Honor, I was proceeding in the number 1 lane here with my motorcycle. The defendant was trying to cross over into the number 3 lane, which is the northbound lane getting onto the freeway here, and she had blocked traffic essentially in all 3 lanes at this point. Her car, the majority of her car was in lane number 2, but the rear of her car was still sticking into lane number 1. I proceeded around the rear of her vehicle, opposite of her path to travel. There was about at least half the lane exposed there, and I continued on. The next thing I know, both my mirrors are filled with lights, and I look at my mirrors and I see a vehicle coming up about twice my speed, straddling the center line. So this vehicle had now gone in, come back into the number 1 lane and number 2 lane, and she went by me while swerving to the left slightly, and I was between the curb and the side of her car.
So she passed you?
No, she buzzed me. She went by me fast and in my lane.
I understand that. Shh, listen to what I'm saying, sir.
Yes.
You say she buzzed you.
Correct.
After she's shown her lights in your mirror.
Correct.
You say she passed you.
That is correct.
That's all I want you to say. You say buzzed, I say passed. She passed
She
you.
went past my vehicle.
Right.
And she went by at such a high rate of speed, I actually felt the wind of her car through my armored pants. We came to a stop. Actually, she was in the number 2 lane, as she described. I was still in the number 1 lane. Her vehicle was very close to the center line. I don't think it was crossing over the line into the number 1 lane, but she was very close to me. And I was lined up with her rear quarter panel. I was yelling at her because I had no idea why she had just done this to me, why she had just nearly
Maybe she was a nut.
Maybe she was.
And what do you do when you come in contact with a nut and you're on a motorcycle and they're in a car?
Well, Your Honor,
what is the smart thing to do?
The smart thing to do would be just to proceed in the opposite direction.
That's right.
That's right.
But
That's right.
opted not to do that. You opted to tell her how dumb she was.
Well,
by getting her attention.
That is true.
By kicking her car.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. So I knocked on her car once.
No, I'm not finished with my...
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. As you would say, I acted badly.
Yes, you did.
And
perfect. Just to say, I have an acknowledgement that you acted badly.
I am willing to fess up in anything I've done in this situation. So
go ahead.
So at this point, I knocked on the car once with the side of my boot.
No. Listen, I want you to use the word that I'm going to use.
Kick. I kicked her car once with my boot.
You know he's a fast learner.
Yes.
Right?
I kicked her car once with the side of my boot. This is the boot here.
Right, now that we've used the boot, could you put the boot on the floor, please?
Yes. I brought the other one in case you want them. So at this point, her door flew open. She came running up to my right-hand side, and I was still on the motorcycle. It's a 600-pound motorcycle. The motorcycle was in gear. Both hands were on the handlebar and the kickstand was in the up position. And at this point, the traffic was just beginning to proceed, starting with the number 3 lane and starting to work its way over.
Okay.
So
the lanes weren't going anywhere because her car was stopped.
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Yes. So she comes flying out of her car. She says, "Why the F did you kick my car?" And I said, "Why the F did you try to kill me? What are you trying to do? You're trying to kill me." And she ran through the list of names, a-hole, et cetera, and I was sitting there. She was in an absolute rage. At this point, traffic was continuing to move. Cars were honking behind us. And I looked at her and I said, "Get back in your car, you fat bee."
Go ahead.
She looked at me. She started shaking. And
quiet.
And she shoved me as hard as she could from my right-hand side. Well, once she shoved me, the motorcycle went over. And at this point, I had to take my hand off the clutch. And that's why the motorcycle started spinning around in circles. I luckily had landed on my feet, and I said, "I'm calling the cops." I went over and got her license plate number even before I shut off the motorcycle, and went back, shut off the motorcycle. At this point, she proceeded to the number 3 lane, got onto the freeway northbound. I called the police, and I told them what direction she was proceeding, and they went and sent a separate police car and went and chased her down and brought her back to the scene.
That's not correct.
Well, where were you stopped?
I went to the hospital, which is straight ahead. I did not get on 101 north
Just a minute.
or south.
So you went to the hospital?
Correct.
Go ahead.
I called Twin City Police Department, and they told me there were policemen on site to go ahead and return to the incident.
Okay, so you came back by yourself? Or
correct.
You came back by yourself?
She came back following a police car.
That is not correct.
Well, it is correct.
No, it is not correct.
She came back following the police car, otherwise she wouldn't even known where we were stopped.
I know exactly where the incident was.
Don't speak to him.
In talking to... I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You kicked her car. You didn't knock her with your tongue. You kicked her with your boot.
I'll demonstrate to you that I don't have the ability of doing that with this boot.
And how are you going to demonstrate that to me, sir?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cindy Sullivan claims fellow motorist Nico Van Prague kicked a dent into the side of her car.
I'd like to see the damage done to your motorcycle.
These are the pictures of the damage, and this is the written estimate. Those pictures were taken the day after. As you'll see from the pictures, the corner of the side bag is ground flat, which confirms the fact that the motorcycle was in gear when it fell over. I also have an affidavit from the BMW dealer who inspected it.
Not necessary.
Okay.
Okay, now let me see the damage caused when Mr. Van Prague kicked your car, which you did, sir. Is that right?
This is the car.
Is that right?
I knocked her in her car once, yes.
You kicked her car. You didn't knock her with your tongue, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You kicked her with your boot.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you kicked her, and you were angry.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you didn't tap her. You kicked it, and you caused a little dimple in her car.
I'll demonstrate to you that I don't have the ability of doing that with this boot or my ability of sitting on the motorcycle.
And how are you going to demonstrate that to me, sir?
Well, I have the boot here, and I also have photographs of me on the motorcycle with a kicking action. It's a very high motorcycle. It's 600 pounds. It has a 33-inch seat height, and I'm only 5'11", so I'm actually on my tippy toes when I'm sitting on the motorcycle. I have a very limited range of motion when I'm sitting on the motorcycle.
Unless you're really angry.
Well, even if I'm angry, Your Honor.
Can I see a picture of the whole car?
I will show you these pictures.
I'm sorry, I do not have one.
Well, where is this ding in your car?
I have estimates here, but it's in the rear driver's side of the vehicle.
Your Honor, that's a BMW 7 Series. It's very thick sheet metal. If I could do that with any boot, I would at least have to be off the motorcycle. It's also above the bumper in an inset place, and there's no damage to the tail light or the surrounding bumper. So it would be a very difficult angle of attack to be able to get into
Well, let me ask
area.
you this question, sir. Why would you think that Ms. Sullivan would go and file a supplementary report the next day?
I think to defend herself, because it was so clear that she had assaulted me, and it was so clear that she had caused damage to my motorcycle that I thought she...
That's a reasonable explanation. Eventually, these charges were dismissed. Is that right?
Correct.
Good. Were you notified of the dismissal of these battery charges, sir?
I had a discussion with the second DA who took over the case about 2 weeks prior to the trial, and he said that he would like to discuss the evidence with me. He felt that it should be best handled in small claims court.
Okay.
And at that time, I had explained to him that I would rather be done with the issue than take it to court again. But I was disappointed in their decision.
Okay. Felt as if it wasn't worth
Correct.
the trouble of going to trial.
Correct.
Okay. I have to establish to my satisfaction, based on common sense, what happened that day. And what happened that day was Mr. Van Prague was in a hurry, and he wanted to get around you, which he did. And that irritated you because he probably went around to your senses too fast. Instead of letting it rest, which would have avoided any and all confrontation, you decided to, at night, blind him with your lights by flashing your high beams. Unnecessary. Then Mr. Van Prague did something that was more stupid than your flashing your lights at him. He thought that you were trying to hurt him, and he didn't know what kind of a nut you were. So instead of just letting it rest and proceeding on his way, where were you going, Mr. Van Prague?
Home.
Home.
From work.
He decided to kick your car. Very stupid. Now, the next stupid thing that happened was you, not knowing what kind of a nut Mr. Van Prague is, decide to get out of your car and confront him by saying, "What the blank did you do to my car?" So you knew what happened because you got out and said to him, "What the blank are you doing?" And that car's all around you. He responded, "And what the blank are you doing trying to kill me?" And as my father's joke would go, the fight was on. But then, Miss Sullivan, you did something that you're not permitted to do. You put your hands on him, and I find that you were not defending yourself. I find that you were furious, and in a fit of anger, you pushed him off his motorcycle and caused about $660 worth of damage to his motorcycle. That's what you did.
Not in anger.
Yes, it was. It was in anger because you got out of the car angry. You were angry enough at him to put your brights on when he passed you instead of letting it rest. You were that angry. Instead of just letting it rest, you flashed your brights on. I mean, I've been driving a car for more years than you're old, and I'm telling you, the only time you do that is when you are really PO'd. And if that's not the only time you do it, then you're a very bad driver. In any event, you're not getting a nickel to fix the ding in your car. All I'm doing, sir, is taking out what I consider the $60 that it probably will take to fix the ding in her car from the $660 that you want to fix your motorcycle. And since you behaved equally as badly that day, would you say that that's true, sir? Because you put your foot on her car in anger, giving you a judgment on your counterclaim for $600. That's all. Step back.
Parties are excused.
It's sad to think that a woman can't protect herself.
Well, I think that we both acted.
Yeah, this is case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of Grande versus Wahab. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. Grande, you want the engagement ring back, and the defendant says it was not an engagement ring but a birthday Christmas present. Right?
That's correct.
Can I see the receipt for the ring? Okay, well, the first thing I have to ascertain is, Mr. Grundy, you are suing her for $699 for the return or the value of the ring, and you only paid $359.11 for it. What's the other money for?
Okay, originally the $699 is the retail value of the ring. I did have it appraised, and the total that I did pay on it is $385, and that's the total amount that I did pay into it. So that's what I would be seeking is $385.
But didn't you think I'd figure that out?
Yeah.
I mean, when you filed your lawsuit, didn't you think that I'd figure out that you were seeking twice as much as you paid for the ring?
Well,
you are the only human being in history who buys a ring from a jewelry store and it doubles in value in a relatively short period of time. All right, so you're not seeking $700 for the ring, you're seeking $359.11.
That's correct.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with shooting big, though.
Oh, I shoot big too, sir. Okay, so now we know what your lawsuit is about, Mr. Grundy. You and the defendant have a child together, is that right?
We do.
And how old is that child?
She's 16 months.
And you share custody of her?
We do.
I have full custody.
Shh. Don't speak out. Okay. I'm really good at getting information. It's really my strong suit. I'm really good at getting quality, accurate information. But I like to get it from the person who I choose to get it from. Okay? Do you have joint custody, sir?
She has sole custody. I have joint legal custody, though.
Okay, so she has sole physical custody. She takes care of all the problems, and you can say, I have joint legal custody.
Somewhat.
See, I told you I shoot big. So you had a long-term relationship with her?
Yeah, over 2 years.
Oh, lifetime. And in the 2 years that you were together, you managed to have a relationship, have a baby, and separate. Is that right?
Correct.
And since I assume, Mr. Grande, that you have been to court, if you have joint legal custody, despite the fact that she has physical custody, I also assume that there is a support order.
There is.
And how much is the support order?
It's for $337 a month, but right now I'm currently paying $500.
Well, $337 a month is the support order, and if you're paying $500, there must have been some arrears.
Correct.
Which means that you weren't paying for a while.
Not necessarily, no.
Well, that's what arrears are, sir. Arrears are fixed by the court.
Correct.
If, for a period of time, you are not paying support. Don't you think that they put me here for a reason?
Oh, I understand.
You think that I was a go-go dancer before I got this job? I was not. I was a judge in the family court. Arrears are when you don't pay support. They fix on and they tack on an additional amount for that period of time that you didn't pay support.
It's not from lack of payment, though. We originally went to court in June, and she felt that the $250 wasn't sufficient, so then we didn't get to court and finalize until September. So
Just a minute. She felt what $250 wasn't sufficient?
Originally, the support order was set at $250, and she didn't fill out.
Okay. So originally, a court set child support at $250, or you were paying it voluntarily?
It hadn't been set in any decree yet.
Fine. So you were giving her voluntarily, according to you, $250 a month.
She didn't get any money until September, until the final decree was established.
Now, the final decree was what? $337?
Correct.
Well, you just said to me they felt that $250 wasn't enough.
It was for back payments, $337 times all the months since the original court date of June. So that's why I was, from the start, I was $1,400.
What was this $250 that you were talking to me about, Mr. Grande?
That's what our lawyers had come to agreement, and we thought that's what the amount should have been set at.
Mr. Grande, is what you're telling me from the time you and the defendant separated until the time the court fixed an order of support, you were not paying any money?
No.
So, what I said to you was, your support order is $337, and because you were dingling around, they added another amount to cover the arrears for when you weren't paying any money. And you ought to respond, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how long was it that you were separated, Mr. Grande, before the court set an order of support?
She moved out in February 2002.
Yes, and when did the court make a support order?
September of 2002.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So for 8 months, you didn't pay any support. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Now let's get to this $350 engagement ring, the Hope Diamond that you bought for her. Can I see the ring? That looks like a pretty ring. Doesn't look like any sort of an engagement ring I ever saw. Engagement ring usually has one nice stone right there in the middle that just sits there and smiles at you. Give this back to her until I decide what to do with it, would you? When's your birthday?
December 18th.
And is it on December 18th every year?
Yes.
It doesn't change dates. You know,
Right.
2002 it's December 18th, 2003 it's December 18th, right?
Right.
So, Mr. Grande, you're going to explain to me, sir, how serendipitously, that means just by accident, sort of, you purchased this ring at the jewelry store on December 18th, 2002.
Coincidence.
Coincidence.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I opened the case, showed it to her, and I said, will you marry me?
And what did she say?
Well, of course, she said yes.
I would have thought twice.
If she said no, she wouldn't be wearing the ring, right?
And later today,
Coach, she could have done that to my car too.
Listen, she could have stood on her head and had twins in the parking lot of Target. She could have done that too, but she didn't.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Fred Grande says his ex-fiancée, Mariam Wahab, owes for the return of an engagement ring. Mariam says the ring was a birthday gift.
Tell me what happened when you gave her the ring in December 18th, 2002, or whenever you gave it
That's
to
not
her.
when I gave it to her, but I'll explain
When did you
it to
give
you.
it to her?
I took myself, her mother, her brother, and his wife, and my mother out to dinner, and that's when I presented the ring to her.
Explain to me how you did that.
Well, we sat down before we got the food. I opened the case, showed it to her, and I said, will you marry me? I didn't say happy birthday. I didn't say Merry Christmas. I said, will you marry me?
And what did she say?
Well, of course, she said yes.
I would have thought twice.
If she said no, she wouldn't be wearing the ring, right?
Okay. Okay, good. So that's how it happened.
Correct.
And that was on what date, sir?
I would say it was about December 20th.
And you remember that distinctly?
I know it was
remember,
after her
no,
birthday,
you
yes.
remember, no, do you remember distinctly exactly how it happened? Because
Yes, I do.
we're not talking so long ago, right?
No.
So you remember that day and that dinner clearly.
I do.
And you would remember something that happened the day before also clearly. Is that right?
I would.
Your daughter wasn't born yet, is that right?
She wasn't.
But the defendant was pregnant at the time.
She was due very soon.
So she was very pregnant at
Sure.
the time. So it was an exciting time, and you would remember that time. What did you get for the defendant for her birthday, December of 2002, 2 days before you gave her the ring?
I believe it was some clothes.
No, you're not, you believe. I'm going to give you a minute to just sit back and think about it. Her birthday, your girlfriend, who's very pregnant, going to have your baby, who you love desperately, who you had bought a ring for 2 days before you gave it to her, was celebrating a birthday on December 18th. And birthdays are really important when you have a new relationship, so you wouldn't think of not getting her something for her birthday.
Correct.
So now I want you to think really hard and tell me what you bought her for her birthday. Think hard. Why don't you put on your thinking cap?
I believe
hard.
it was a sweater and an outfit.
Was it a maternity sweater or a regular sweater?
It was a regular sweater.
Was it a maternity outfit or a regular outfit?
It was a regular.
Was it a daytime outfit or an evening outfit?
Daytime. Well, I know what you're getting at. I do.
You do?
I do. I
then
think
if you do, then why don't you just, instead of lying...
Well, because if...
No, listen to me. Instead of lying and making things up as you're going, why don't you just say, quite frankly, Judge, I don't remember. I'm sure I bought her a birthday present on her birthday, but quite frankly, I don't remember, instead of standing there like a jerk and making things up.
I don't think that's the case.
What do you mean you don't think that's the case? You don't think that I know that you just stood there and made up the fact that you got her a sweater and an outfit for her birthday?
I was planning on giving her the ring around her birthday and before Christmas. I mean, it's not like I was making the best money, you know, at that time, so...
Mr. Grande, don't you understand what I just said to you? I said that you lied when you just told me that you got her a sweater and an outfit for her birthday, when, in fact, you just told me now that you got her nothing else because you were planning on giving her a ring around her birthday. And I said to you, don't stand there and make things up as you're going along because it makes you look ridiculous. Now, do you want to explain to me how you got this ring?
Yes, it was on my birthday, December 18th. We went to dinner that night on my birthday. It was my mom, my brother, his girlfriend. And he didn't give it to me where anybody else could see it. He like handed me the box under the table and didn't say anything. He never asked me to marry him, nothing like that. And I took it and then I brought it above the table and I showed everybody else and that was it. Okay. And he gave me the receipt to go get it sized.
That's how you have the receipt?
Right.
Okay. When did you separate?
February 18th. It was 2003. It was after I had the baby. She was like 2 months old.
And when for the first time did he ask you for the ring back?
He sent me an email probably around December. I'm not sure of the month, but it was a while ago.
Can I see? Is that the email? May I have it, please?
And he asked me for
That's her response on the top. It's kind of colorful language, so
Oh, I can take it. Now, when did you separate, Mr. Grande?
She moved out in February.
February of what year?
2003.
And this was sent on February 2004, a year later.
Mm-hmm.
And this was after you had been in court, is that right? Because I see you've got lawyers here.
Mm-hmm.
So after you were taken to court and you were given a support order in the amount of $500 a month, which includes arrears, we got this. Is that right?
Correct.
Too bad.
They didn't address
I have
that.
to make a determination. I'm speaking. I have to make a determination whether the ring that you gave her a year and a half ago was a birthday present or an engagement present. So let's try to look at certain objective data. A, we had a relationship that had come to a point when there was going to be a permanent commitment because you had a child together. B, I find that it was not serendipitous that this ring was purchased on the day of her birthday, and I believe her and not you that it was the 18th of December when the family went out to dinner to celebrate her birthday, and not you taking the family out to dinner to present her with an engagement ring. When it was presented to her, it was just given to her exactly as she said as it was given to her, which is
under the table.
Under the table. Here it is. She took it out and showed it to everybody.
We hadn't.
I find that,
no.
Furthermore,
no.
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It doesn't look like an engagement ring. It looks like a ring.
Judge, we had an engagement party. This is important, though.
I'm speaking.
Do I have a chance when you're done?
No. You had your chance, she had her chance. Now I'm ruling. Now you have to be quiet.
There was an engagement party
now
in
you
Virginia.
have to be quiet. Do you understand? Now you have to be quiet. Most importantly, sir, how you have the audacity to sue her for a $300 ring when for 6 months you paid not 1 penny in child support, not a penny, is something, quite frankly, Mr. Grande, that I don't understand. And your demand for the engagement ring back, engagement ring is in quotes, made a year after you separated at a time when she was taking you to court for support is outrageous. And before I would come to court, when I had committed an outrageous act to seek the return of a $300 ring, I would take a good stiff drink and think twice about where my morals are. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Grande. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He thought I started dating other people, and that's when he got mad and asked for his ring back, and I said no.
We had an engagement party in Virginia, which didn't get brought up. Was that a fake engagement party? I doubt it.
Right. We just tried to make it look good, like I was getting married before I was pregnant, before I told him I was pregnant.
And I take care of my child. I pay support. I've never missed a payment.
As far as the child support, for example, he tries to get over on everybody as much as he can, and like this. But in the end, he always ends up looking stupid.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blessum versus Blessum. Step forward.
22-year-old salesperson Kaylee Blessum is suing her brother, 19-year-old warehouse worker Adam Blessum, for crashing her car. Adam says Kaylee's insurance should pay.
What's your first name?
Kaylee?
Kaylee. That's your brother. You each have a car.
Yes.
What kind of car do you have?
A 2000 Mitsubishi Galant.
And what kind of car does Adam have?
He had a 2002 Mitsubishi Galant.
What happened to his car?
He got into an accident a couple months ago.
Totaled his car?
Mm-hmm.
When did he borrow your car?
He borrowed it around May 10th of '03.
And at that time, he had a car.
Yes.
But he liked your car better because your car had nicer...
rims and just flashier of a car.
I know you love these cases.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kaylee Blesson is suing her brother, 19-year-old warehouse worker Adam Blesson, for crashing her car. Adam says Kaylee's insurance should pay.
You borrowed her car to go over to a friend's house.
Yep.
And what happened, Adam?
On the way to bring a car back, I slid on some kind of ice. So I slid off to the left side of the road and hit a tree.
And what did you do to your sister's car?
I broke the headlight, the bumper, and crushed the fender a little.
A lot of damage.
So you caused some damage to her car.
Yeah.
And you want him to pay for the damage.
Yes.
Adam says, why didn't you put this through the insurance that you had on the car?
I called the insurance company, and they actually told me that if I did, because
he was 19 years old, your insurance rates would go up, and they would go up for a very long time.
Right.
So you want her to put this through her insurance, and you'd be, according to you, more than happy to pay for her deductible. Is that right?
Right.
That's your defense.
Yeah.
Are you more than happy, Adam, to pay for her increased insurance rates for the next 5 years?
No.
Why not?
Well, she could have, she could have done that to my car too. We didn't have.
Listen, she could have stood on her head and had twins in the parking lot of Target. She could have done that too, but she didn't. You caused an accident damaging her car, right?
Right.
If she were to put the accident through her insurance, it would cost her additional premiums, at least for the next 5 years, through no fault of her own. So, would you be prepared to pay for her $500 deductible as well as her increased insurance premiums over the next 5 years?
No.
Why not?
We didn't have an agreement on if that were to happen. Accidents happen.
Yes, accidents happen. And the person who is closest in responsibility for that accident bears the responsibility for that accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's what an accident is, my friend. That's why they don't call it an on purpose.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right. Had you been more careful with her car would not have been in an accident. If there was ice and rain on the street that night, you should have taken your own car. And if you chose to take her car, you assumed the responsibility for any damage that was done to the car, not her. How much did it cost to fix your car?
Total was $1587.47.
Can I see the bill, please?
I have actually 2 estimates that I got.
Did you fix it yet?
Yes.
Good. Well, how much did it cost you to fix it?
The $1587.47.
Okay. The other one was more.
Right.
Good. What kind of work do you do, Adam?
It's an assembly line.
You work regularly?
Yep.
You live at home?
I live with my girlfriend at her parents' house.
At her parents' house?
Yeah.
You mean her parents think that you're prize enough to let you move into their house with their daughter? How old is their daughter?
19.
19. Uh-huh. All right. Kaylee!
Yes.
He has to fix your car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,587.
Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out. 2:20 on the calendar in the matter of Sansing versus Hobson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Okay, who's going to speak for the Hobson family?
Me.
Who are you?
Her daughter-in-law, Veronica Hobson.
What do you have to do with this case?
I'm the one who verbally told her that we needed the room by October 1st.
Why don't you have a seat? And who are you?
I'm Ellen's son. I'm also a defendant in this case.
Sit down. Sit down. Miss Sampson, you rented a room from the defendant, is that correct?
Yes.
When did you rent a room from her?
12/15 of '99 until August 10th, maybe the 15th of 2000.
And it was a month-to-month tenancy, is that right?
Yes.
How much was your rent?
$500 a month.
What you are suing for is really an illegal eviction. You're suing for harassment, pain and suffering, and the return of your deposit. You say she didn't give you sufficient notice when she told you to leave, causing you all kinds of stress, and she did not return your security.
Also, the overpayment also for the month of August. I felt that I was forced to move before the end of the August, so I'm also asking for that too. The prorated amount from the 15th of August to the end.
Somebody's counterclaiming here for some nonsense about ruining a birthday party. I'll hear about that later. Ms. Hobson indicates in her answer that there came a time, sometime in May, that you indicated to her that you would be moving out. Is that correct?
No, it is not.
Did you ever have a conversation with her indicating that you would be moving out?
Not in the month of May.
When?
In the month of July 4th weekend.
I'd like you to tell me what the conversation was.
That my boyfriend and I would be buying a home and we would try to live together before we got married. That I would probably be moving by the first of the year.
Had you had any difficulty prior to that?
No, never.
So everything was fine?
As far, yes.
Okay. You were a good tenant. She was a reasonable landlord. You paid your rent on time?
Yes.
Okay. So there came a time when she told you you had to leave.
Right.
Tell me about that.
The daughter-in-law came to me on August 9th and had said that I needed to be out by August or October 1st.
By 10/1?
10/1, yes. And I asked her why, and she said I didn't supply some papers for a daycare, which are not in any writing. This is a verbal.
It said what?
Supply papers for a daycare that she was opening up, and for, I guess, the state to check me out. So I asked her, okay, well, you know, whatever the reason is, I just would like it in writing. She thought that I was having an attitude because I asked for me to leave in writing. And at that time, then from there on, it just got crazy.
Well, tell me about how crazy it got.
I went outside to talk to Ellen, and at the time I asked her, you know, about them asking me to move and why she didn't confront me and ask me to move and why was she leaving it to the daughter-in-law. We had an argument there, so I went back in.
Tell me about the argument.
Just about things that I had done. I left a bowl in the sink, that I didn't supply these papers, this and that. And it was just, it's not true. The stuff that they're saying was not true. So I turned and I left, and the next day when I came home from work, there was this letter here.
That was on the 10th of August?
Yes, the next day. It was underneath the door. This is actually a second letter that was left. The first letter, when I was outside waiting for the police to come, they switched the letters. But anyway, that's the letter that she left me with my 30-day notice. When I read the letter, I went out, she was outside, and I walked outside, and I had told her, you know, I thought that this is ridiculous, but whatever your reasons are, I will move. I also told her that I felt like I was being harassed, and at that time I may seek some kind of illegal advice. She got just so upset, and I turned away, I walked around and went in the room. At that time, her and Veronica forced their way into the room. They either kicked it or they punched the door in. At that time, I got on the phone because they were saying that they were going to throw me out right then and there with all my belongings. And so I called the police. I went outside to wait for the police. It took a couple hours. And so I left that night. The police told me to leave and come back later on that night and get some things. When I came back that night, all of them were making physical threats, and even Veronica, while I was waiting for the police, was trying to provoke a fight, like walking on the back of my legs right behind me, telling me her husband's going to beat me up, they're going to do things.
This is Veronica?
Yes.
Okay.
Her husband's going to beat me up, they're going to do things to my car and stuff. When I came back that night, then all three of them were jumping in on the bandwagon.
Do they all live there?
Yes, they do.
And they've always lived there?
Yes.
And you never had any problem with them before?
Never. I think I was so upset at the beginning of all this because I couldn't really understand why they were actually behaving like this.
Okay. So you moved out, and
Yes.
you did not receive your security deposit back?
I did not receive my security deposit
And how much
back.
was the security deposit?
It was $500.
And you were fully paid for the month of August?
Yes.
Okay.
I also have police reports here for that. I also went back on Friday because I was afraid of the things that they were actually going to do things to my belongings. I went back. I took time off from work on Friday. I went to the home. It was about 11:30. And the doors, locks were changed. The locks that I were given were changed. I couldn't get in, so I sat down. The police told me to call if I couldn't get in, so I did. And while I was waiting for the police, Ellen came outside and said that she wasn't letting me in because I didn't lock the door the night before. And then she left in the car with Veronica's baby. And then about 10 minutes after that, the police came, and here's the police report that they even that they noticed that I could not get into the home. So then I came back on Saturday afternoon. I called the police. They met me there. And I have the police officer's cards that actually were there while I was packing my things for 30 minutes. I guess this is why she was having her party, which I didn't know she was having a party. And they even wrote on the back of the card that they kept the peace during eviction while I packed some of my belongings. And these are the officers that were there the first night when they...
I'm reading.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Okay, it's true. She came to me in May and said that she was moving, that she'd be moving in about 2 or 3 months.
Right, go ahead.
Veronica asked her to get the documents that she spoke about.
What kind of documents?
For Veronica to have a daycare center, we all have to be fingerprinted and TB tested. It was 2 days after that that she told me she was actually going to be moving. So we started making arrangements for the room. My daughter was talking about moving back in. She's going back to college. She needed to come
Which
home.
daughter?
My daughter, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Also, one of Veronica's aunts was considering moving to Southern California so that she could help with the daycare.
Mm-hmm.
We had made these arrangements. It was all set. One or the other was going to be moving in.
When?
At the end of September.
Okay.
Darcy came to me and said, I won't be able to move. My boyfriend hasn't found a home, so I'm going to be staying till the end of the year.
Okay.
We had to tell her that this was impossible because we'd already made other arrangements for the room.
Okay.
At that point, she went a little crazy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is what you're telling me, Miss Hobson, that she was still living in your home on the 17th of August?
She had
Don't be a Swiftie with me, madam.
She had moved all her belongings except a TV that she did not want.
Don't be a Swiftie, madam.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Darcy Sansing claims landlords Ellen, Veronica, and Jeffrey Hobson unlawfully evicted her because they wanted to run a daycare business out of their home.
Go ahead.
And she started cursing, calling names, calling Veronica names. She asked for a written 30-day notice. We gave her that.
Right, but you locked her out.
No, we did not,
Before the 30
Your Honor.
days, according to the police. According to the police report, couldn't get in.
This is not true, Your Honor.
Why would the police lie?
There are 2 locks.
Your Honor, I
Why
have
didn't-
I'm sorry.
Why would the police lie in their report?
She probably did not give them the second key. There are 2 keys to the door. There's a top lock and a bottom lock. Because Darcy had a habit of going out of the home and never locking the security lock, we have to lock the bottom lock.
Right.
She did not give them the key for the bottom lock.
So you didn't lock her out?
No, we still, to this date, have not changed the lock.
Okay, now how many times were the police called to the premises on or about the 9th or 10th of August?
She had them there on the 9th. She had them there on the 10th, the 11th.
Why do you think she had them there?
She was trying to harass us.
No.
She was very upset about
Just a
us not
second.
allowing her to
Who
stay till
told
the end
you?
of the year.
Who told you you should leave that day or the next day?
Who told me I should leave that day
Yeah,
to
in
leave for the
August.
night?
Yeah.
The police officers.
Did there come a time when either you or Veronica went into her room that evening?
No, no.
Yes.
We talked to her earlier in the day.
When I was on the phone with the police officer, they were getting a car over there to help. They actually asked me to turn around and tell them to leave the room because she could hear them in the background screaming, and then she physically got on the phone with Veronica and told her to leave the room. And
Did you speak to the police that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. Where were you when you spoke to the police?
We were at the door of, we're in our hallway at the door of her room. That's
Okay,
where
that's
we were.
all. Sit down. Why didn't you return her security deposit?
I have it written here. I asked her to give me an address where I can mail it, and she, to this date, has not given me another address.
Okay, so you
And
acknowledge that you
also
owe her security deposit.
She doesn't, she does not due the entire security deposit back.
Why?
Her notice was from the 9th of September through the 9th of August to the 9th of September, which means she owed another 9 days for the month of September.
She wasn't living there in September.
No, but her 30-day notice extended from
She had
August
to leave.
9th.
I find that there was sufficient harassment in the house that required her to leave.
You're on.
Shh. Do I look like I need help?
No, you don't.
You harassed her into moving. I don't know how much of this was due to the fact that you did not want to fill out forms for the county so that Veronica could have a daycare center in the house. I don't know how much of this bad feeling emanated from that, but certainly she was under no legal obligation to be fingerprinted and photographed and in order to live in a room that you were renting to her. So she wasn't living there in September. She doesn't owe you any rent. Do I have...
No.
Do I look like I need your help or any more evidence on that issue?
No.
Your Honor,
And I find
have
that it was-
evidence that shows that she was not afraid, she was not being harassed. This is a note from her where she deliberately misspells our name, showing how upset she was. And if you'd like to read this.
Sure. Oh, well, it's clear to me, Ms. Hobson, that the plaintiff and your daughter-in-law, based upon this letter, have had unpleasantries passed between them. Clear to me. And she does talk in terms of harassment. And this was, in fact, written on the 9th of August. She's entitled to her full security deposit back. And she is also entitled to, if she paid you rent August 1st for the month of August, I find that she's entitled to that money back. And $500 security deposit. Where did you go when you moved out?
To a hotel for a month.
Okay.
I had to pay for storage fees, moving fees, a portable phone.
How much did you pay each night for the motel that you had to stay in?
Each night is different. The first night, I believe it was, I have it written down here. The first night I spent at a hotel was $62.70.
Yeah.
The next night I went to where I ended up staying, it was $67.99. Then I stayed at the hotel for 3 weeks, was $250 a week. I have the receipts here.
You don't have to show me the receipts.
Okay. My storage, I'm sorry.
Not interested in your storage.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I cannot believe that any person all of a sudden acts in a bizarre fashion for no reason unless they have a psychiatric breakdown.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Darcy Sansing claims landlords Ellen, Veronica, and Jeffrey Hobson owe her for an unlawful eviction. The Hobsons say they evicted Darcy because she threatened them.
Did you ever have any conversation with Veronica about this form that she wanted you to fill out when you didn't fill it out?
Yes, I did. She did tell me that she was going to be opening a daycare, and I told her that...
When?
It was before July 4th, maybe a couple days before, maybe in that same weekend.
When did she give you the paperwork?
She never did.
She never did?
No. She had just said that I was probably going to have to, and I told her I didn't have a problem with it at all. My sister is a foster parent, and I'm pretty sure that I'm already on their files. I've already been fingerprinted and stuff before. And that's what I had told her, so it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Now I'm going to deal with the counterclaim. Who wants to talk about this counterclaim for harassment for disturbing the birthday party?
I do.
I'll hear you.
First of all, I did go to Darcy and I did talk to her about moving out. It was not over the papers. When I approached her...
Would you please just tell me about the claim of harassment at a birthday party? That's your complaint.
My complaint is that she knew I was having a birthday party, and she came in the middle of it, brought the cops. I had to answer to my family, friends. I didn't have time to spend with my son on his birthday. I got ponies and bouncers and stuff like that. She came right smack in the middle of that, and I didn't get time to enjoy it.
What do you think she came to the police for on that occasion? What do you think she was trying to do?
Oh, she was moving out her things. She
was moving out her things?
The only thing...
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
She was moving out her things based upon statements that you made that you wanted her out.
Right.
Right. Sit down. You picked a bad time to tell her you wanted her out.
Your Honor.
Yes.
She also, on her complaint, uses the address, our address, so it shows that she was still there.
She was still there when, Ms. Hobson?
When she filed this complaint on 8/17, she is using our address.
She may not... Listen. Is what you're telling me that she was still there on the 17th of August?
She was still...
Just a second. Is what you're telling me, Ms. Hobson, that she was still living in your home on the 17th of August?
She was still using it as her address, yes. She had
Don't be a Swiftie with me, madam.
She had moved all her belongings except a TV that she did not want.
Don't be a Swiftie, madam.
She left a broken TV in the room for us to discard.
So what? You illegally and without just cause evicted her from her home where she had lived for 10 months on a month-to-month basis, The reason for that I will never understand, except that she clearly was not getting along with your daughter-in-law, because the harassment that she refers to in her letter to you involves harassment by your daughter-in-law. Now, I don't know about this baloney about moving October 1st and then moving that very day. I honestly don't know what precipitated that, but I cannot believe that any person who has had normal behavior for 10 months would opt to move their stuff out in the middle of the night into a motel room, to a $60 a night motel room, rather than stay in the comfort of a place that she's enjoyed for almost a year, unless she was being substantially harassed. I don't know why you did it, but it's clear to me that you or people acting under your authority did it, because she didn't all of a sudden overnight become a nut.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did? Oh, no, I don't believe that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm telling you, you harassed her into leaving. That's what I'm finding. You?
Well, you are wrong.
Or you? No, I don't believe so.
Your Honor,
I
may
don't
say
believe so.
something?
I don't believe that somebody, for no reason whatsoever, after 10 months of peaceful occupancy, all of a sudden acts in a bizarre fashion and puts themselves into a situation overnight where they are discommoded from that residence, put their stuff in storage, and go to a motel for no reason unless they have a psychiatric breakdown. Now, I see no evidence of that, Ms. Hobson. I am going to find that her out-of-pocket money that you have that belongs to her is $750, $500 security deposit, and $250 for unused portion of the rent. And in addition, I find that she suffered damages the extent of $1,000 to enable her to reestablish a residence based upon the fact that you illegally evicted her. Total value that I am awarding to the plaintiff on her claim is $1,750. Now, as far as your counterclaim is concerned, for $1,500 for harassment and mental anguish by ruining your son's birthday party by having the police come, that's dismissed.
378 on the calendar in the matter of McPhillips versus Dunkel. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. McPhillips, the defendant used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
According to your complaint, he was arrested on a charge of assaulting another girlfriend.
Over there.
And you bailed him out.
Yes.
He says that you may have physically gone down to pay the bail, but it was not paid with your money, it was his aunt's money.
That's right.
Okay. When he was arrested, were you still dating?
Yes.
What date was he arrested?
May 25th.
And how did you find out that he was arrested?
His sister and her boyfriend called me at work and told me that they came to his house and arrested him.
And what did you do?
I left work and we went to his aunt's house, who then gave his sister money for his lawyer.
Oh, no.
Shh. Just a minute.
And then her boyfriend gave another $200
Just a
for
second.
his lawyer.
You went to an aunt's house?
Yes.
And at the aunt's house, you all picked up some money?
Yes.
How much money?
His aunt and her fiance gave $300, and Chris Maxey gave $200.
Chris is the boyfriend?
Of Dina, yes.
So that was $500 altogether?
Yes, for his lawyer.
But then he's still in jail, so what happened with his bail?
The next day, we went to a court hearing, and they said that his bail was $1,000.
And what did you do then?
Me and Dina and Chris all then went to my bank and took the money out of the bank. And then
Out of your bank?
Yes.
And you have proof of that?
I don't have my bank records because it was back in May, and I had $1,003.24 in the bank. And I took out the money, and so the account was closed. And I didn't think I needed proof because I assumed he would give it back like he said he would.
Miss McPhillips, that sounds like the most ridiculous answer. If you know you're suing somebody, and you know there's an issue, and you have bank statements that you receive each month, then that's the one piece of evidence that it would seem to me that you would bring.
It was back in May.
So what? We're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about 6 months ago.
And I didn't file the claim till November because that was when his court date was, and I didn't think that I needed the statement in May or I would have gotten one.
You get a statement from a bank every month.
Yes, but I don't keep them. And so I don't have the one from May. But I have the piece of paper saying that I am the one who gave the people the money that bailed him out. Why would I be suing him for money that wasn't mine?
We're going to find out in a minute. Go ahead, Mr. Dunkel.
Yeah, like she said, I was arrested. My sister and her boyfriend, Chris, were at my house when the police picked me up. I called my aunt that night from jail and told her they'll set my bail the next morning. She said, I asked her, you know, if she could bail me out, and she said, sure, that's no problem.
That is a lie.
Well,
Where's your aunt?
Where's
your aunt?
She's at home. She runs a home daycare. She wasn't able to be here. I have a statement here written from her.
I don't take statements written from witnesses.
Okay.
Where is your aunt's bank statement that shows me that she withdrew $1,000 from a bank?
She had it in cash. The next day, my bail was set for $1,000. My sister, Chris, and Brandy went to my aunt's house. My aunt gave them the money, $1,000 to bail me out of jail. They went to the police station. Brandy, Dina, and Chris went to the police station. I don't know why Brandy was entrusted with the money to bail me out, probably because she was my girlfriend at the time. But she gave them the money. They gave them the bond receipt. So the bond receipt's in her name, so I think she's entitled to.
Okay, but if his aunt gave the money, then why wouldn't they have given it to Dina? She is his sister. Wouldn't his aunt trust Dina with the money?
Madam,
more than
you're
me?
not standing there in a very good place, because all you had to do to be successful today was to bring me a bank statement. That's all you had to do.
I didn't keep it. I didn't think I'd need it. I thought that he would pay me back like he told me he was going to.
But then you knew he was not going to pay you back, and you knew you were coming to court.
But I already didn't have
Listen
a statement.
to me. What do you mean you already didn't have a statement? You called the bank and you said, I need
The account
May's
was
statement.
closed, so they wouldn't give me a statement.
That's not true.
I
That's
did call
not-
the bank, and
What?
they wouldn't give me a statement since the account had been closed for 6 months.
Do you know that I don't believe that?
That's the truth.
All right, I'm going to hear you witnesses, because so far, a lot of what you told me, sir, is hearsay. Who was present when the aunt turned over this $1,000? Step up. Tell me your name.
Dina Van Gunsman.
So, what happened?
Basically, we showed up at my aunt's house after we went to his court hearing, and my aunt handed Brandy the money and said...
That is a lie.
Shh.
And we got back in Chris's car. We went down there. Brandy ran out and paid for his bond.
What time was the bail hearing on the 26th?
At 9 o'clock.
Shh. And what time was he bailed out?
5 o'clock, around 5.
So you knew the exact date of the withdrawal. It had to be on the 26th of May.
It was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I had to wait for my friend who was living with me at the time to bring down my driver's license because they wouldn't let me withdraw the money out of the bank without my driver's license, even though my
Okay.
signature matched.
All right. I want you to do this. I want you to get the telephone number of the bank, get on the phone with the bank manager. You tell the bank manager that you are in court now. You would like them to research their record and just be able to tell the court, that's me, whether on the 26th of May of the year 2000 there was a $1,000 withdrawal from your savings account. Now, the two of you would agree that if there was $1,000 withdrawn from her savings account on the 26th, that would pretty much establish that you're lying, right?
Right.
So there's no issue with regard to that, right?
Unless it
I
was
don't-
pay your bills. I don't know. I got my aunt's phone number right here. You can call her and
Why
just
would
talk
I
to
want to believe
'Cause
your
there's
aunt
my-
over
that's
the
my prime
telephone?
witness. You know,
If
she
your
gave me
prime
the money.
witness is supposed to be here, sir,
Well,
you
she
would
runs a
agree,
daycare, she
sir,
couldn't.
since you weren't there, that if the bank manager, who I'm sure will be cooperative with me,
Okay. he'd be
because
cooperative with you?
they're always cooperative with me, and he certainly is disinterested,
Okay.
will tell me that she withdrew $1,000 from her account on the 26th, that would mean that you and all your relatives and all your friends are lying, right? And
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes.
Well,
of
why
course.
would they give you the
Of
bank
course.
statement and they wouldn't give their own, their own customer a bank statement?
Why? Because it's much harder to say no to me. Miss McPhillips, did you get the number?
Yes, I did.
May I have it, please? You sure you want to continue with this?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right.
You have a seat.
Yes, can I have extension 426, please? Thank you. Yes, this is Judge Judy Sheindlin. I'm calling because I'm in the midst of trying a case involving one of your clients, Miss McPhillips, Brandy McPhillips. And the main issue in the case revolves around a withdrawal made from her savings account on the 26th of May. Can you tell me if there was a withdrawal? There was. And that was the total amount of the withdrawal. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I appreciate your trouble. Bye-bye. I just love it when everybody's lying a little bit. Miss McPhillips, you did in fact make a withdrawal on that day.
$850.
Well, that's not what you told me initially. Miss McPhillips, just listen to me.
I had $150 cash,
No,
but you
Miss
didn't let me
McPhillips,
finish.
listen to me carefully. You didn't try to tell me anything. What you told me was you had $1,003 in your savings account. You withdrew $1,000, leaving you $3 left. That's what you told me. You didn't try to tell me anything else. However, you did withdraw on the 26th $850. And I'm looking at the bail receipt. The bail receipt, they're so smart. They list the denominations of the bills. 800s, 150. Then there is 110 and 7 20s. So we got to get it straight. You withdrew the $850. Now, where did you get the extra cash from?
I work at a bar on the weekends, and that was my tip money from the week before.
So how do you have tip money when you...
Don't speak to her! Liar, liar, pants on fire. Don't speak to her. You step up here.
Good.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a debt consolidation
You're what?
counselor. A debt counselor.
You're supposed to be honest when you're a debt counselor.
I am honest.
Not today, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
You were lying.
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you are. Because, you see, based upon the fib that you told me, you and Mr. Wonderful over here,
Thank you.
you all went to the aunt's house, all of you, and you took Auntie's money, and you went and paid the bail with Auntie's money, and you just handed the money to her. It seems unreasonable and unfathomable why, with her boyfriend in jail, she would go and withdraw practically all the money she had in the bank, and then go out on a spending spree or decide to pay her bills from her savings account.
What, she can't take money out of her savings account to pay her bills?
Are you asking me a question?
Well,
Are you asking me a question?
no, I guess I'm not.
You sure aren't. Who do you work for?
Greater Nebraska Tree Service?
So you deal with trees.
Yes, I do.
Well, you don't always have to be honest with trees, but you should be honest if you're in debt
I'm honest here
consolidation.
today.
I am honest.
Let me tell you something. Not only I am aware of the fact that you are dishonest because you perjured yourself, but there'll be 10 million people who will agree with me. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She lied.
They were made fools of. They lied.
Never trust a woman.
Obviously, some people aren't worth trusting.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Flamini versus Warner. Step forward, please.
18-year-old telemarketer McKeel Flamini is suing former landlord, 54-year-old homemaker Carol Warner for return of rent. McKeel says Carol's compulsive behavior caused her to move.
Miss Flamini, you rented a room in a defendant's home. According to your complaint, you lived there for one day. Things were so intolerable, you moved out, and you want your rent back.
Correct.
It's Miss Warner's contention that you had no basis to leave, and she's not returning any of your money. So I have a few basic questions.
Okay.
How did you find the room to rent?
I met Carol through a friend of mine from school, and he introduced me to her, and I went over to her house. And when I first came into the house, I was like, I can't live here. But then I met her, and I really like Carol. I still really do.
All right. You met her through a friend.
Right.
You went to her house. According to you, the house was a mess.
Right. I have a picture.
The rent was $489 a month, according to your complaint.
Yes.
Plus doing some cleanup for her.
Right.
Okay. You have some photographs?
I have, a photograph of, you can see in the background what it kind of was like.
I can see everything. Okay. Very good. So you got to the house, and?
And later that night, it was Halloween, it was October 31st, we agreed on the phone that I would come back that night, and we would start cleaning up the house. So I got back there, and I tried to clean up. Like, I would pick up paper towel off the ground and throw it away, and she'd be like, no, you can't throw that away. I use that to clean the floor.
and she'd make me wash my hands every time I touched a dirty dish. There was a piece of paper with the number 3 on it and like scribbles, and I crumpled it up to throw away, and she's like, you can't throw that away, that goes on this pile. And it was just, she wouldn't let me clean, and that was, our verbal agreement was I would live with her and help her clean up her house if she let me stay there.
Okay, did you move in on the 31st of October?
I never moved anything in. I just stayed there to clean.
That night?
I stayed that night, yes.
Okay, and did you leave November 1st?
Yes.
Now, Miss Warner. Miss Warner.
I'm listening. I'm just surprised at her statement.
Okay. Had you previously, immediately previous to the plaintiff moving in with you, had you had a roommate?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
No, I did not.
The answer is you did not have a roommate.
Correct.
When was the last time you had a roommate?
Oh, maybe 6 months before then.
And she lived there for 1 day?
I think it was actually 2 days. Because the day that she came...
The day that she came was October 31st, which was the day she gave you the check.
No, she came the day before, Your Honor, with her friend, to look at the place and see if it was okay for her to live in.
But then she came and she slept there on October 31st.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And she left November 1st.
I'm not sure of that either.
Well, if you're not sure, she said she was there 1 day, so I have to assume she's correct. So my question to you, Ms. Warner, is if it didn't work out, and you certainly didn't turn away any other boarders, why don't you give her back a $489?
Because I did turn away other people, Your Honor.
When did you turn people away?
Actually on the 30th, when she said, okay, I'm going to go to the bank with my friend, and she opened an account in order to use a West Hollywood address and to establish residence, as she herself said.
So what? I don't know what
Okay,
you're
I'm just
talking about,
giving
Miss
you an
Warner.
answer.
All right, now we're talking a couple of months later. Do you have a roommate?
No, I do not.
Right. You have to give her back her money.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I don't want to go into all the reasons she says your house was a mess. Evidently, this was a young lady who wanted very badly to rent a room in your house because, according to both of you, she ran out and she said, no, I want to give you the check today because I really want this room.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So there had to be a very good reason why, after 1 day of living with you, she said, this is not going to work.
Why don't you ask her what the reason is?
If you want me to, Miss Warner.
I'll ask her.
No, you don't have to ask her. I'll ask her. I asked the questions.
Okay, sorry.
I was trying to save you embarrassment.
I'm not embarrassed in the place, but she saw the home before she moved in.
Go ahead.
Well, she wouldn't let me clean. I couldn't even, the bed that she had the room for me, I couldn't take her papers off the bed. I had to actually sleep on the side of the bed. I woke up to Carol staring at me. She was sitting in a chair staring at me, and I was uneasy, and I was like, I cannot live here. I just could not live in that situation.
Why was it such a mess?
It's not such a mess. It's totally, she's just supposed to help me with my dishes.
Were there papers all over the bed that you were sleeping on?
No.
Did you go into her room and were you sitting in her room at some point?
No, that's a total lie. She just, all she did was change her mind about wanting to live there, and then the lie
Why
happened.
do you think, Miss Warner, she changed her mind within a 24-hour period?
Probably because she found a place that she could rent at a pretty good price, and she wanted her own place.
Miss Warner, you are mistaken. I find that you have suffered absolutely no financial damage as a result of her not living there. You didn't turn away other prospective boarders. I don't believe that you turned away other prospective boarders because it's months later and you still don't have a boarder in your house. You look like two very nice young ladies, but you can't keep the $489, madam. It's outrageous.
If she had rented some other else, like actually rented a home, that landlord wouldn't give her money back just because she changed her mind the same day.
I didn't.
Madam,
or the day later.
I believe her when she says that living in your home, that you are a clutter collector.
It's not true.
I believe that you are a clutter collector and that circumstances in your home for that brief period that she lived there made her believe that her life in your home was going to be untenable.
She decided she wanted to live on her own, and she saw the place before she moved in. She decided to live
She
there and to
didn't
help
live
me
with
the
you
house
for
rent.
24 hours.
couldn't
Judgment
live
for the
with you,
plaintiff
Carol.
and the amount of...
Jones versus Womack. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Jones, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for a brief period of time. How long?
It was probably 6 or 7 months.
And you asked her to marry you?
Yes.
You gave her a ring?
Yes.
According to you, you also purchased a camcorder while
Yes.
you were together. The marriage never took place because you were still married to somebody else.
Yes.
When the defendant found out about that, she asked you to leave.
Yes.
When you left, you took a whole bunch of property. What did you take with you when you left?
Well, I took all my stuff.
What stuff?
She had personal belongings that I brought with me, my bed, my table, my microwave, clothing, general things like that, pictures of my son and stuff like that. Since she kept the camcorder, and when I moved in with her, she gave away her bed, her microwave, and her table because mine were newer, mine were better. She decided to give those to some family members of hers, and
Because you didn't need two of each.
yes,
And she did that, I assume, Mr. Jones, because you anticipated that you were going to get married.
yes,
So she got rid of all of her old stuff, you brought in your stuff, which was new stuff, and then you left. She had to, I assume, replace all that stuff, right?
yes. But when she gave away her stuff, with her record, she's been married 4 times prior to my asking her to marry me. I told her that in case something happened, I told her that she had a building outside. I told her to put her stuff in her building or something to keep it and maybe not give it away. I didn't advise her to give it all away.
Like sort of insurance.
Well, I mean, in case something did happen, because
Like insurance.
yes, previously other stuff had happened. So, I said in case something happens. And then, she threatened anything that was left was going to be put out in the yard and burned.
She was pretty angry when she found out that you were still married.
Yes.
How does one make a mistake like that, Mr. Jones?
When we filed for divorce, I got the papers, the divorce papers, and signed them, had them notarized when I signed them, sent them back.
When was that?
That was middle part of 98, end part of 98.
So you got the papers from her attorney and sent them back.
And sent them back.
And?
And I never thought anything else about it. I never heard anything else. I assumed the divorce was finalized.
So did you ever call up and find out whether you were divorced?
No, I never checked on it.
Well, don't you think that, how many times have you been married?
Once.
You're not an unintelligent man, sir, so it would seem to me if you want to know whether you're divorced or not, you pick up the phone, you call the clerk's office of the jurisdiction where the divorce is pending, and you say, hello, do I have a judgment to divorce?
Well, that is true, but I just never thought anything else about it.
So how did you find out that you were still married?
Well, whenever I told my mom that we were engaged and everything, she told me, she said, first make sure that he's divorced, because she said, you can't trust my ex-wife.
And did you check?
Tracy kept saying she wanted to see the divorce papers, So I finally called my ex-wife and told her to send me the papers. Well, the papers she sent was the first copy that we got that was unsigned by either one of us. So I called her back and told her I needed them, and that's when she told me that she hadn't finished paying for the divorce, and we had decided, since I was giving her everything, that she would go ahead and file and pay. She would take care of all that.
So she didn't do it?
No.
And how much after that conversation did you tell Miss Womack that you weren't divorced?
It was probably, I'm guessing, maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
How come you didn't tell her for 3 or 4 weeks?
Because I was trying to figure out a way to tell her, because I knew that she would go off. I was trying to figure out what to do to try to save the relationship, because I knew, I loved her, or what I thought was love, and I didn't want,
So how did you finally figure out to tell her?
She was real persistent about wanting to see the papers.
Smart.
So
Because she's had experience.
Yeah, needless to say. I was making up copies to give to her.
What do you mean you were making up copies to give to her?
I was making up copies of divorce papers.
How were you doing that?
On my computer.
That was a lot of effort.
Well,
so did you give her copies of the divorce papers?
No, because when I went to get the copies that I made copied to make copies of them, she got in my computer and found the originals.
So you didn't have a chance to give it to her, is what
No.
you're saying?
No.
So you did a little detective work.
Yes, I did.
So what you did was you were making up phony divorce papers to give to her, and then I assume you were going to go through a ceremony with her.
No, not until the divorce was final.
How was the divorce supposed to be final if your first wife was in no big hurry?
Well, we had planned to get married next year in Hawaii. So I was going to, after I took care of this with her and
Took care of what with her?
the divorce thing with Tracy, once I explained to her, once I got her to a point where I could explain to her that I wasn't divorced, I was going to.
How are you going to explain, Mr. Jones, how are you going to explain to Tracy that you really weren't divorced after you had given her copies of divorce papers that you fraudulently made up from the computer? Don't you see that you were digging the hole deeper?
Yes, ma'am, and I realized that I should have dug up.
All right. This whole lawsuit is about a camcorder and engagement ring. Let's talk about the ring first. The ring is the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
You've been married 4 times?
Yes, I have.
Short marriages?
Yes, they were.
Made 4 mistakes?
Yes, I did.
You were just saved from a 5th.
Yes, I was.
Give him back the ring. Now.
This ring means
Nothing.
everything.
Nothing.
But why should he get this ring when he gave this to me and I expected to marry this man, and he lied not only to me but to my children? And now, to this ring, I need to sell to pay back all the stuff that I had to buy when he left and took.
Mm-hmm. Give him the ring. Good. Now, let's get to the camcorder. How much was the camcorder, sir?
The camcorder was $355.43 plus bag and tapes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And tell me the circumstances around the camcorder.
I bought the camcorder because she has 2 children that are younger. I have a son that's 5. She had talked about wanting to get a camcorder to be able to film them and stuff like that. She liked tapes and pictures and stuff. So I went and I bought the camcorder. The camcorder, I told her whenever, I said, hey, I got a camcorder. I told her it was for us to film the kids growing up and, our relationship and our marriage, which I had planned.
Mm-hmm.
It was never given to her as a gift. The gifts that I did give her, I didn't ask for them back.
Mr. Jones, do you think that Ms. Womack is in a better position or a worse position as a result of being involved with you, sir, financially?
Financially?
She had to replace certain things in her house, right?
Yes, and when I moved in with her, when she asked me to move in with her, I gave away my couch and love seat because she had a nicer one, same as with my stuff. She had a nicer one than I had, so I gave them away.
Yeah, but she was straight up with regard to the relationship with you, sir. She wasn't married to somebody else.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was his fault that it never took place.
He should pay.
See, Your Honor, this is all about, she's a very vindictive person.
You deceived her. Doesn't that strike you as being wrong?
And later today,
what did you contribute to this relationship?
I contributed as much as I possibly could.
I heard that before. I give you anything I had, I don't have anything.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paul Jones says ex-fiancée Tracy Womack won't return an engagement ring or his camcorder. Tracy says Paul lied to her. She claims he's still married.
She could have followed through with her promise to marry you. You, on the other hand, unless you could do some magic with the computer, were not going to be able to marry her if you were already married to somebody else.
No, but at the time that I asked her to marry me, I didn't know, and it may have been
that's
stupidity.
Your fault.
It may have been...
Well, so that's your stupidity, not hers.
But
a person assumes that when a man asks to marry them, they are free to marry. You didn't embark on an honest course of conduct, which would have said, Tracy, I don't understand what happened. I really thought I was divorced. I have some money. I'm going to hire a lawyer. I'm going to do it next week or this week. I'm going to do it tomorrow because she doesn't care whether we're married or not. She just doesn't want to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it, and I'm going to get it done. You weren't honest with her. Your relationship at that point was one of deception, right?
Yes, it may have been.
Clearly. The deception's going to cost you the camcorder, sir, because I don't know whether it was a gift or not. She's got it. She keeps it. If you need to, you sell it. Okay? The ring, as far as I'm concerned, is a gift made in contemplation of marriage, whether it's your fault, her fault, or the moon's fault that you can't get married. You should have the ring back. As far as the camcorder, I'm not so sure that it wasn't given to her as a gift so that she could memorialize her kids and the times you had together.
You just gave him permission to lie to everybody and get this ring back.
Listen to me. A ring is a piece of metal unless there is some real sentimental value to it, which there shouldn't be considering the circumstances of your parting. You have no reason to keep it.
To sell. Now, that's what he's going to do, is he not? Or he's going to give it to his new girlfriend.
Who bought it?
His dad bought it.
Whoever bought it, somebody bought it. You didn't buy it. It was given to you in contemplation of you getting married. Marriage never took place.
Well,
my judgment never took place. It was his fault that it never took place.
Yeah, he should pay.
Mm-hmm.
See, Your Honor, this is all about, she's a very vindictive person.
She's not vindictive, sir. Being vindictive and feeling as if you've been taken for a ride are two different things. You deceived her. You're wrong. You're wrong to have deceived her to try to make up some stationery on your computer with a judicial seal to show her that you were divorced. Doesn't that strike you as being wrong?
Yes, it does.
All right. The wrong's going to cost you a camcorder. That's all.
Party's are excused. You may step out.
I should have known when I got in the relationship with her that with her being bisexual that, something was going to come up. I had a real big problem with that.
His mother told me to check the divorce, not him. So his own mother doesn't believe him and kicked him out of her home.
And now the next case.
All parties on Crickman versus Phelps. Step forward, please.
25-year-old waitress Rebecca Crickman claims former live-in boyfriend, 25-year-old student Andrew Phelps owes her for paying off his student loan and various bills.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant were together for a considerable period of time, and during that time, you loaned him some money, right?
Yes.
He says he doesn't know anything about loans, right?
Correct.
So when did this relationship commence? Give me the month and the year. I don't have it in your papers.
We started dating in February of '98, and we broke up the end of February or early March of '99.
1 year. Now, when did you pay this college loan and under what circumstances?
After we started dating, we dated for 4 or 5 months. Things were going really well. We had talked about moving in together in the future. We were talking about moving in around August. And in June, he asked if he could borrow some money to pay off his loan that he still owed his school because he was awarded financial aid that would pay his tuition, books, and $1,800 a quarter living expenses. He would then use the money that was given for living expenses to pay me back, but he couldn't register for school until he had the loan paid off and until he finished a paper.
How much of a loan did he need?
He had stopped working so that he could focus on finishing the paper, and he was trying to find another job that would correspond more with his school because he was working during the day.
I mean, get to the loan. I'm asking you, how much was the school loan that you paid off for him?
I paid around $1,400 for him to pay for school and for bills initially.
I'm asking you about the school loan that you're talking about.
I don't know exactly how much the school loan was because I paid in different amounts. I believe it was $1,300, but
well, I don't know. I can't.
$600. Okay, but the amount that I gave him at the time was $1,300.
Show
but
me.
The checks weren't able to be ordered in time for me to be here, but I have it on the statements.
Do your bank statements indicate to whom the checks were payable?
They just show the amount that I wrote, and then they show in my statement who I wrote the checks for.
Okay. I have one check for $400 to Seattle Pacific University.
That's correct.
$400, school loan payment for Andrew. That was in July of 1998. Did she make that payment for you?
Yes, she did.
Oh, did you pay her back?
No, I didn't.
Why?
I didn't see it as a loan.
What did you see it as?
As a gift. No.
Just a second. Why would you see that as a gift?
Rebecca and I were in a relationship that was headed towards marriage.
It didn't go there.
It certainly didn't.
So?
So?
Did you loan her any money?
No, I did not.
There was no financial downside for you, right?
Correct.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did he give you the money?
No. He didn't finish his...
I don't care what reason it was. You permitted that to happen. Stupidly.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 25-year-old waitress Rebecca Crickman claims former live-in boyfriend, 25-year-old student Andrew Phelps, owes her for paying off his student loan and various bills.
Tell me about the conversation that precipitated this $400 amount that was paid to pay off your school loan.
I don't specifically recall that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, good. Then you can tell me.
Can I just say first?
No. You answer my question. Tell me about this $400.
I wrote out the check, and it was definitely not a gift.
I want you to answer my question.
It was very simple. He asked if he could borrow some money to pay the loan, and then he said, I will pay you back when I get the financial aid, the amount that they are giving me to live on. I had just finished school. I was working 3 nights a week. I wasn't
So
giving
you
away
remember,
my money.
and you remember that?
Yes.
Good. He doesn't remember that, so I have to credit your testimony. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Good. Now, so you gave him $400. That you can document.
Yes.
What else can you document that you gave him?
Loans for the school and his credit card payments, which I wrote the checks out for. When he moved in August, it was under the condition that he would pay half the rent, half the utilities, the phone charges, but also his own phone calls. So I have all the phone statements for the year that...
August, just a second. August of what year?
August of '98, we moved in together, and he stayed...
And he lived there until March of '99.
I moved in June.
You moved in
He did
June?
not move in...
Shh. Better even. Better for your side on this one. So pay careful attention. You always put your foot in it. You moved in June?
Yes.
Of '98, and you lived there until March of '99.
Correct.
Now, you have all the statements there, right?
Yes.
And he never paid any of the bills?
None.
That's
right?
correct.
He was supposed to get the check for school in October.
So you said he was supposed to get his money in October, so you were sort of advancing him the money.
Yes.
Till October. October comes. Did he give you the money?
No. He didn't finish his...
I don't care what reason it was. Did he give you the money?
No.
And you let him stay? And you let him stay in November?
Mm-hmm.
And in November, did he give you any money?
He wasn't paying... He was paying me for his rent, but he wasn't...
So he paid his rent. So this has nothing to do with rent, correct?
He was short in rent in December and January. I asked him if
So did you throw him out?
I told him that if he didn't pay... If he was short on rent again, that he would find his stuff in the hallway. And he did. He found a job. He started paying his bills. Things fell apart anyways because of other reasons.
Miss Crickman, I have absolutely no intention to going over your household bills, your utility bills, your telephone bill, your water bill, your cable bill, for the months that you say he did not contribute when you permitted that to happen, stupidly.
I agree.
Stupidly.
I was stupid.
Stupidly, because courts are much too busy to take care of this kind of nonsense. When two people move in together without benefit of marriage, and then they break up, and then they expect you to become a monitor with regard to $15 for cable, $7.50 for water, $12.50 for this. We have no time to do that. So my advice to you in the future, if this ever happens to you again, this is the first time that your boyfriend who's living with you tells you, I can't afford to pay you that, you show him the door. I do think, however, he owes you for money that you outlaid for his school and his credit cards. Even though you don't have the checks and you just have the stubs, I'm going to credit you with those things. Do you understand? So all of that comes to $869.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Is she paying your credit card bill, sir?
She paid 1 or 2 months minimum balance, yes.
Did you ask her to?
Yes, I did.
Why did you ask her to?
I failed to meet them myself, and so I asked my partner to step in and help.
She wasn't your partner that long. What did you contribute to this relationship?
Quite a bit of love, and about 90% of the time I was employed.
You were employed?
No, he was
I
not.
was,
Just a second.
I was too.
You were employed?
There's only 3 months during the
Good.
entire relationship that I was not employed.
Then why didn't you pay her back the money that you took from her for your school?
I contributed as much as I possibly could every single month that I had money.
I've heard that before. I give you anything I had, I don't have anything. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $869, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Michaud, according to your complaint, you and the defendant had at one time been friends, and then there was some sort of a tiff over a boy. But there came a time when you were sort of having a girls' beauty day. You were at a friend's house, the defendant was there, everybody decided to color their hair. According to you, the defendant applied a hair dye on your hair. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then you stayed home, and she and some of the other girls went out to get some other products. They were gone for a couple of hours. You rinsed out the hair dye. Everything was fine. They came back. The defendant put a conditioner on your hair, and then all your hair fell out. Right?
Correct.
So you are convinced that she put something in this conditioner that caused your hair to fall out?
Yes.
What kind of hair product did you use? Was it a product that you had used before? The
Yes.
dye?
The dye was the exact same dye as I had used 3 months prior to this.
The same one?
The same color, the same everything.
Okay, and how long did you leave it on?
45 minutes, like it said on the box.
And you rinsed it out?
And I rinsed it out.
And then you just sat around the house and waited for them to come back?
Well, I was watching her daughter. They stopped at McDonald's or something, I don't know. I was watching her daughter, and I was just rinsed the conditioner, well, the dye out of my hair, and waited for them to get back. And then
What happened when they got back?
She came, and she had 2 little travel-sized bottles of conditioner. She gave one to Karen and one to me. She asked Karen to put it on her hair, and she told us to put it on her hair for as long as we could stand it. Now, I'm not sure what that meant, but once we put the conditioner on
Well,
her
did
hair...
you look at the travel-sized bottle of conditioner?
Yes. It was the exact same. I've used that conditioner before. It was the exact same kind as she was using.
Right. And did you open it yourself?
No.
Who opened it?
Danielle.
Were you there when she opened it?
Yeah, I was there when she opened it.
And you had used that conditioner previously and nothing had happened?
Correct.
And you put it on your hair and what happened?
I let it sit for a little while, and then it started to burn. And Karen went into the bathroom to rinse the conditioner because she had it on her hair, too.
Step up here, please. You're Karen?
Yes.
Karen, when you put the conditioner on your hair, did it burn too?
No.
It didn't burn at all?
Nope.
Had you ever used that conditioner before?
No.
But you went to rinse yours out.
Yes.
Why?
Because she said her head started to burn, so I was scared that it might have a reaction with my head, so I went to rinse my hair out, and I rinsed it out, and it was just conditioned.
What happened when you went to rinse yours out?
Well, I went into the bathroom to rinse it out, and I put my head under the drain. I was standing in the bathtub, and I looked down at my hands, and there was hair in my hands, but I thought it was just because I had dyed it, and maybe someone died, right? But then I came to the conclusion that when I dyed my hair, it was fine. When I rinsed the hair dye out, it was fine. All of a sudden, it started coming out in clumps, like the whole bathtub, the whole bathroom was covered in hair. My hands were full of hair.
How long was your hair?
Short, but...
Okay.
It didn't come out at the root. It came down to like a little stubble. And for 3 days, it just kept coming out more and more. Every time I washed it, every time I brushed it, it just kept falling out and falling out and falling out until I had a burnt spot in my head that would stretch about that far.
Did you take the bottle of conditioner?
No.
Why not?
Because the garbage had gotten emptied out with the bottle of conditioner in it right after it happened.
Well, wouldn't it have been wise to save that bottle? Once you saw all your hair falling out in the drain.
It did cross my mind, and I went to look in the garbage, but it had been emptied already.
Who emptied it?
Karen.
Where did she put it?
Oh, I'd emptied the garbage can because we had dyed our hair and used the same garbage can. So I have a 3-month-old downstairs, so there was like all the chemical stuff in one garbage can. So after we had put our conditioner out and it started to smell, I took it out, tied it up in a bag, and put it in the garage outside.
Okay, so there was no reason why you couldn't go get that vial from the garage outside, right?
Right.
Well, why didn't you think about doing that?
Because I wasn't really convinced yet that she had done it. Like, I was suspicious, but I wasn't really convinced that she had done it.
Okay. So now you're having a reaction, and your hair is coming out in clumps as you're rinsing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not convinced that she did it. What convinced you, according to you, that she had done it?
Well, once I stopped to think about it, she's cut my hair before, and it looked not so great. And she went to Karen and to my boyfriend Brian and said, well, I cut her hair like that so she'd look stupid so Brian wouldn't want her. And not only that, but a friend of ours was sleeping on the couch one night, and she said she was envious of her hair.
Just a minute. Is this something that you heard or that somebody told you?
Well, she said it to her.
What did she say?
She said that Nicole asked her to cut her hair, and she cut her hair, and she said that she purposely messed up because Brian told her to do it, to make her look ugly.
Now, did you go to the store with her?
Yes, I did.
And how many other people went to the store with her?
It was me, Danielle, and Jamie, who is a friend of ours. He was at the house that night.
What store did you go to?
We went to Walmart.
Were you all together?
Yes.
Were you all together when the conditioner was purchased?
No. Me and Jamie took some of the stuff that she wanted to buy. She said she wanted a phone card for her phone. So we went to the electronics section to get her phone card while she was purchasing everything else she had bought that day.
Who carried the bag with the conditioner and all the other stuff?
Danielle.
Now, when you got back, who took out the conditioner bottles from the bag?
Danielle.
Did they look exactly the same?
Yes.
Was there any indication that either one had been tampered with?
No.
Did you see both bottles?
Yes.
They were both the exact same bottles?
Yes. Travel size conditioners. Same kind, everything.
So when they were taken out of the bag, do you remember this when she took them out of the bag?
No, I wasn't there when she took them out of the bag. We had everything set up in the bathroom, but the problem was I have a 3-month-old, so we couldn't all just be in the bathroom at the same time. So she went downstairs first, and I went downstairs. Jamie was already downstairs. Nicole was already downstairs because she was there. We had just gotten back. I went into the bathroom. The bottles were already out of the bag. They were on the counter. She grabbed one. She said, here, you got to put this on your hair. You got to put it on your hair dry, like instead of having the water in it. So I'm like, okay. So I put it on my hair. No big deal. Just left it in my hair.
How many other items were purchased that day?
There was the 2 bottles of conditioner, a phone, 1 or 2 phone cards for cell phone, a prescription, I don't know what it was though, from the pharmacy. And hair dye, her hair dye.
Whose hair dye?
Danielle's.
You didn't see any purchase of any hair remover or anything else, did you?
No, I just know what she said she had to pick up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did either of the 2 conditioners smell any differently when you put them on?
Not at first, but once we put them on our head, then my hair started to smell like if you were to light someone's hair on fire.
And later today,
We ended up filing a police report on Amanda Sheppy because she threatened to kill me.
Well, did she threaten you before or after you didn't pay the rent?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Michaud says Danielle Faria tampered with her hair conditioner, causing her hair to fall out. Danielle denies the charge.
Well, Danielle, I have one question for you. Did you dislike her enough to put something in that conditioner that would cause her hair to fall out?
No.
Hmm?
No, ma'am.
What do you think might have caused her hair to fall out?
I'm not sure, but as soon as it started happening, I was the one who was on the phone to the hair dye company and to the conditioner. Karen was there when I was on the phone with them. I asked them, I said, this is what's happening, what can we do?
Is that true?
Yes. They said nothing. They said she must have just had an allergic reaction or something, because on every hair dye, the pamphlet where you get the gloves, says do a 48-hour allergy test.
Yeah, but she had already used this hair dye according to her before.
True.
Okay, but you actually got on the phone.
Yes, I did.
Did anybody suggest that you get the little bottle and find out anything about the bottle?
Well, no. The actual hair company that we used, the actual product, they were closed. Like when I called, this was at probably like 10 o'clock at night, they were closed. So I called L'Oreal, which was the product that I used, just the number off my box, and they're the ones who told me this. And they said, just make sure she doesn't brush her hair or whatever. And the conditioner didn't even cross my mind, because conditioner, you wouldn't think it would do anything.
You told her to put it on and leave it on as long as you could.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Just because that's what the lady at the Walmart told me when we were shopping. I didn't even remember, I didn't even think of getting the conditioner until we had talked to the cosmetician, whatever she's called, in the Walmart, and she had said that because Nicole wanted to dye her hair black, then put blonde peroxide streaks into it. So I asked her, I said, well, what can we possibly use I know her hair is going to be damaged either way, but what could we possibly use to at least save it a little bit? And that's what she gave me, was those 2 conditioners.
You know what your problem is? What you think, Nicole, may have happened. It is possible. But the one thing that you would have had to establish that Danielle did something purposefully to you is to have saved the bottle, right?
Yes.
Wasn't put in a trash compactor, it was just outside in the trash. All you had to do was open up the trash, dig in, find both bottles, because you don't know which one is which. You would have had both bottles. They could have been tested to see if there was anything in there. Did either of the 2 conditioners smell any differently when you put them on?
Not at first, but once we put them on our head, then my hair started to smell like, if you were to light someone's hair on fire, that's what it started to smell like. The entire basement smelled like burned hair, and hers smelled fine. Just smelled like regular.
And hers smelled fine.
Yeah.
What kind of dye did you put on your hair?
Same as hers, nice and easy.
Were you planning on putting blonde streaks in your hair?
I was, but I hadn't gotten that far yet, because she had given me the conditioner and said, if you put this on your hair, then it'll stop it from dyeing when you put the blonde streaks in. And so I did.
Do you understand what the problem is? I mean, what you're accusing her of is a serious, really a serious assault. Tampering with a product in order to cause danger to you. I don't know if that's true. I mean, she purchased the product. There was no indication that they were tampered with before it was put on your head. Is it possible that she went into the store, purchased these 2 vials, went over to a different area, picked up a hair remover, poured some out somehow, right? Filled up your bottle with, or part of your bottle with a hair remover? I mean, is that possible?
I think it is.
It's possible. It's unlikely that somebody wouldn't have seen all this activity going on in the store, right?
It's true, but we never really asked anybody in the store if they'd seen anything weird.
Well, if you never asked anybody, then that's your problem, because you're suing her. You go into the store and you ask a question, and you get the evidence. The proof is in those little bottles. But before I'm prepared to say that this young woman committed a felony, which is really what you're talking about, because that would have been a felony, I need more proof than that, and so does every other court. I think you look terrific. And it's going to grow. It's a style, anyway. Still have the same boyfriend?
Kind of, I guess. We still associate.
Okay, good. All I can tell you is, Miss Faria, if you did what she thinks that you did, if you did, that's a terrible thing. Unfortunately, she can't prove it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Danielle has a way of getting in and making everything look like it's okay for a little while, and then pushing everybody out and ruining everybody's life.
Nicole has a way to turn everything. She's a drama queen. She screams it for attention, and she'll do anything to get it.
I'm not going to let her touch my hair anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nicklin, Sheppy, Peterson versus Dingman. Step forward, please.
Carrie Nicklin, Amanda Sheppy, and Emily Peterson are suing former roommate, 19-year-old student Lisa Dingman, for breaking an apartment lease. Lisa says she broke the lease because she received a scholarship to go to another school.
All right, not a very difficult case. You ladies all went to college together. You decided at some point that you wanted to, the following year, live together off campus in an apartment. And you found a 2-bedroom apartment, and the 4 of you signed a lease. So far, am I correct?
Yes.
At some point, you decided that you were changing schools.
Yes.
And you were going to be living in another city, and were not going to avail yourself of this apartment.
Yes.
Your lawsuit wants rent for 2 months, her share of the rent for 2 months, when you did not find another roommate.
A month and a half, we're asking, and the $100 to change the lease.
When you leased this apartment, it was from what month to what month?
The lease began on August 17th of the year 2000, and it would go to the following date of the following year.
And it started when the school year starts.
Right, a few weeks before school started, which was convenient for us because we started practice early anyway.
What kind of practice?
Cross country.
Cross country?
Running.
Running.
Yeah.
All of you were on the team?
Yes.
But it's not easy to find a roommate during the summertime because school isn't in session, but you have to rent this place for a year. Is that right?
Yeah, and Lisa had only given us 3 weeks' notice
No,
before.
don't ask. Just answer my questions.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, do you think that this is reasonable?
After what they put me through, no.
I'm not interested in what they put you through.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. University track team members Carrie Nicklin, Amanda Sheppy, and Emily Peterson say former teammate and roommate Lisa Dingman owes them for breaking an apartment lease.
Okay, I've had kids who are in college. They have to rent a place for a year, even though they're not using it for the whole period of time. Is that right? Okay. So, and people aren't there before so that, you could fill in immediately. You have to wait until people start coming back and looking for another place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why don't you think you're responsible for this month and a half and for, according to the plaintiffs, the $100 that they had to pay in order to change the names on the lease?
Because when this started, I did offer to pay the $100 to change my name, but they have put me through a lot of stuff. We ended up filing a police report on Amanda Sheppy because she threatened to kill me. And Carrie
Well, did she
Nicklin.
threaten you before or after you didn't pay the rent?
This was before. We had a meeting at Emily Peterson's house, and I brought along a list of options that I said that I would be willing to help them to help this situation out.
Well, what kind of options did you offer?
I offered that they can go with the 3 of them, and the monthly rent would go from $720 to $620, and they would each only have to pay $26 extra a month.
Why should they have to pay anything extra?
Because I was offered a scholarship to go to another school.
Yeah, but they're not responsible for that. You are.
Okay. Another option that I gave them was that if they wanted a 4th person, I would be willing to find them a new roommate, and then I would pay the $100 to take my name off of the lease, and I would pay $100 to put somebody else's name on the lease. And they would not agree to that either.
Well, that's reasonable that they wouldn't agree to that. I assume when you rent a 2-bedroom apartment, that means you're going to be sharing a room with somebody, and they want to be able to choose somebody that they are compatible with rather than having you go out and find somebody that may not be somebody that they can live with.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Do you think that this is reasonable?
Well, I felt that if I left it up, like if they were to find another roommate and I did not help out and all, that they would drag this on for the whole year, and I wouldn't be able to afford to pay $100 a month living someplace else.
Of course, you're absolutely right, but they didn't do that. They found somebody almost immediately.
They did not inform me of that.
Well, but they did. Certainly when you received the summons to appear in court, you realized that it was just a month and a half, that they were out your share of the rent, so they found somebody immediately.
Yeah, when they first were going to summon me to court, it was for $665. And that I did not think was reasonable at all.
Well, do you think that this is reasonable?
After what they put me through, no, I do not.
I'm not interested in what they put you through. $370 is a month and a half's worth of rent and $100 to change the name on the lease.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Lovely. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $370.
Parties are excused. Mason versus Henry. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Ms. Olivencia, it is your claim that the defendant, who you hardly knew if you knew at all, on 2 separate occasions assaulted you and attacked your car. For some reason, you are only suing for the attack on your car. The defendant says it was you who assaulted her and her car, but you have no counterclaim. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, where did this happen? The first time?
First time, it happened on May 11th at the Worcester County jail.
At a jail. What were you doing there?
I went to go drop off my friend Janika at 6 o'clock, and I went to pick her up at 8.
What was she doing there?
She went to go see her boyfriend.
Had you ever seen the defendant before May 11th?
I've seen her like 2 times.
Did you ever speak to her?
Never.
Okay. So did this initial assault occur on the way going to the jail or when you went to pick up your friend?
When I went to go pick her up.
Who was with you?
My cousin Maria was with me and her daughter.
And now you can tell me what happened.
Okay, I was sitting in the car waiting for her, for Janika to come out. Stephanie Henry then comes out of the jail and approached me, started yelling, cursing at me. Anyways, I noticed she was getting hostile, so I turned on my car, and I was going to turn around to go, and that's when she pulled my hair, started slapping me.
How did she pull your hair?
How did she pull my hair? From this side. She approached me. I was in my car.
And the window was open?
The window was open, yep.
So she came and she pulled your hair. What else?
I was sitting in the car, she pulled my hair, and I tried to get her away from me. My cousin was screaming. The correctional officers came outside. They ran outside. They tried to separate us. At that point,
How did they try to separate you? Were you still in the car?
I was still in the car, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, they tried to separate her because she was holding on to me. So then she runs to the car and kicks my headlight and breaks it. And they witnessed that. They banned us from being there ever again. And we just went home.
You have a report from them?
I have a report from the Worcester Police Department.
May I see it? What's this blackened out part?
Well, because they don't let me see what, where she lives, or the police station did that.
This says that you talked about a group of males that surrounded your minivan.
That was afterwards.
Was that at a different location?
Different location.
Okay. Because I know there were 2 incidents. All right, so after she was separated from your car and she kicked your headlight in, did she leave or did you leave?
I left.
And your friend, did you wait for your friend?
She never came out.
All right, Miss Henry, you want to tell me about this incident?
Yes, Your Honor. I was coming out of the administration building like everybody has to do. You leave out of the administration building. I was standing there holding my 1-year-old son in my left hand, okay? I was waiting for my son's godfather to come pick me up. I was standing there. A woman walked by me. I did not have any cigarettes on me at the moment, so a woman handed me a cigarette. I was smoking a cigarette with my right hand and had my son in the left.
That's nice.
I noticed Miss Olivencia walk in the building. I noticed they came out and went into the car with another girl and a young child. Then I noticed she came out of the car and went back into the building. I don't know, I assume it was to look for Miss Cruz, but she went back in the building, she came back out, she got in the car. She proceeded to drive away. Okay, at this moment, I'm standing there smoking a cigarette, holding my son. I flick the ash on my cigarette. She reverses, does a 3-point turn, comes back, and says, "Excuse me, what was that?" A curse word. And I said, "Excuse me, I don't know you, and I have never met you before, and if I had something to say to you, I would address you and let you know. Therefore, I'm holding my son, drive away and have a nice day." I spoke to her nicely the first time. She started cursing at me, calling me these rude names, talking about she knows who I am, she knows where I live. I'm like, well, I have no idea who you are. I've never seen you before in my life. She then steps out of her automobile, comes over to me, approaches me with my child in my left hand, I remind you, and she's pointing in my face And I'm like, you need to get in your car and drive away because I don't know you and I'm holding my son. And I don't play around like that with a baby in my hands. She kept cursing. She proceeded to get back in her automobile. As she was doing so, she grabbed my hair. I have a scratch right here. Unfortunately, Your Honor, I was unable to have my pictures developed to bring them here. For my evidence, I had a bruise on my knee, on my right knee, from the fact that when she had grabbed me by my hair and pulled me towards the car, my knee was hitting her door because she was pulling me. And of course, I'm going to defend myself with my child in my hands. And I'm going to try to get away because at this point, I didn't know if she was going to try to drive off while I'm holding my son. Okay? No correctional officers came out and broke anything up. She drove off after she had let go of my hair. And she went to turn again, and as she turned again, because you can't go to a certain point in a restricted area, you have to turn back and go out of the parking lot. She turned again, she came at me to try to hit me with my child. So I'm defending myself, moving out of the way, and as I move out of the way, my foot kicked her blinker, the tail light. I have a report from the Worcester County House of Correction saying that she did not care about the blinker, she didn't want to press any charges at that time, and that was the end of that. And I remind you, Your Honor, she was saying that she knew where I lived and that she would be there. Okay?
Ms. Olivencia, you indicated to me that your friend here, who you had dropped off in the morning, did not come out. That's what you just indicated to me, correct?
I dropped her off in the evening, 6 o'clock.
Or in the evening, and then went back to pick her up, and you said she...
And she did not come out.
Yep. Well, this report indicates that the one involved party was leaving in a gray Toyota, and the other party was standing in front of the administration building. I assume that was you.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop the gray Toyota. Is your car gray?
My car is like a tan.
What's your license plate number? That's the tag number. Bearing Massachusetts tags. And identify the operator as Rebecca Olivencia, that's you. A passenger in the vehicle was identified as Janika Cruz.
That is wrong, because my cousin was with me. And they took my cousin's ID. And they also know that Janika, yes, she did go
Just a
at
second.
6 o'clock.
Just a second. That's what the detective wrote, that the passenger in the car was identified as Janika Cruz. Step up here. Then he goes on to give me a whole story here about something about a boyfriend. Who were you there to visit?
I was visiting my boyfriend, my daughter's father.
What's his name?
Victor.
Do you know Victor?
He's a neighbor of mine.
Anything other than a neighbor?
No, well, he was. He can't remain in that building either.
Was he ever a boyfriend of yours?
No, Miss...
Was he ever a boyfriend?
No,
of
ma'am,
yours?
no, ma'am.
Did you ever go out with him?
No, ma'am.
But you know him?
Yep.
So the connection between the two of you is through her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Stephanie shows up in a car full of guys telling me to get out. It looked like they wanted to fight me. So then one of them puts on a bandana around his face. And then he started like putting his hand in his pocket like if he had something, like a gun or something.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Olivencia says her car was damaged during a fight with Stephanie Henry. Stephanie says she kicked the car because Rebecca wouldn't let go of her hair.
You knew her from this person who was never your boyfriend, who you
No,
never
we know
dated.
each other from her boyfriend, which is now my ex-boyfriend.
Ah, well, so we have somebody else.
Which is her boyfriend or her fiance.
Who used to be your boyfriend?
Used to be my boyfriend about going on 3 years ago.
And did you like each other before this happened?
We didn't know each other. We met each other one time, and then from there we just couldn't get along. We fought when I was 6 months pregnant.
Who fought?
Me and Stephanie. From there we didn't get along, whatever.
Did you know about this fight that they had?
I had no idea about it.
How long have you known her?
I've known her for a couple of years now.
How long is a couple?
About 2, 3 years.
And when was this fight while you were pregnant?
1999. No, year 2000, year 2000. I was 6 months.
Before this incident happened in May?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you were friends, you mean she didn't tell you that she was assaulted?
No, because we're not always together. We're not
She didn't
best
tell you
friends.
that she was assaulted?
No. I never knew about it.
That's unusual. This also says, Miss Olivencia, that you told the detective there that you did not wish to pursue the matter any further and did not care about the broken headlight.
That is not true. I never even spoke to that detective, as a matter of fact.
Olivencia states that she was attacked first by Henry, that's you, and didn't know who Henry was. She said that they just pulled each other's hair and exchanged words. Well, that's true. So there were a lot of things, according to you, that are wrong in here. Okay, now let's hear about the second assault.
Okay, the second assault happened after Janika asked me to go bring her to pick up her daughter.
Give me the date.
That was the same day. That was probably a half an hour later.
Okay.
I had told Janika, well, I don't know if I should go over there, but seeing that she's my friend and I was doing her a favor, to Piedmont Street, which is where she lives and which is where her daughter was at the grandmother's house.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I get there, and Janika steps out of the car, and then she shows up, Stephanie shows up in a car full of guys, like 4 guys. They all jump out of the car. They start cursing at me to get out of the car. I lock my doors. I roll my windows up. I told Janika, get in the car, because these people are getting crazy. Anyways, the guys are yelling at me, telling me to get out. It looked like they wanted to fight me. So then one of them puts on a bandana around his face. And the only thing showing was his eyes. And then he started like putting his hand in his pocket, like if he had like a gun or something. Anyways, my cousin started going nuts. She started screaming. She was making me nervous. I told Janika, get in the car. Janika wouldn't get in the car. She was trying to talk to them. And I just took off. When I was taking off, she ran to my car and she kicked the side of my door. And I drove right to the police station and I told them about it, and that's when I seen the damages that she did to the door.
I'll hear you.
Okay, Your Honor. Can I continue with the ending? Okay. Like I said, after she let go of my hand, she tried to hit me with my child. And she turned around and tried to go.
You told me that. You told me that you were protecting yourself and you kicked it in her taillight.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
And as she was driving off, like I said, her friend, the passenger, her cousin, she claims, threw a large amount of hair out the window and said, "Here's your hair, B," call me the B word, and drove off. Okay. Then after that, one CO came over to me. He asked me for my identification, to look for warrants, to check our records and everything, and then they had pulled her over and they were speaking with her down the street. Okay, my son's godfather had came and picked me up with his friend. Okay, and they brought me home, and by the time I got to my apartment building on Piedmont Street, Miss Cruz, Miss Olivencia, her cousin, and some black, I don't know who the black female was surrounded my neighbor, who is a friend of mine who also was going to be a witness, appeared here. They surrounded her with her 7-year-old son behind her.
Why, you saw this?
No, as we pulled up, we seen them, yes, and they all
scrambled in the car. You just want to tell me what you saw.
As we pulled up, we seen all 4 of the girls surrounded my friend, my neighbor, with her son with her, and as we pulled up, my son's godfather jumped out of the car and he said, "Who tried to attack Stephanie holding her son?" And I told him it was the driver, and he said, "Get out of the car. Why did you try to attack her holding the child?" We wanted to call the police and hold her there because she was at my place of residence, and Miss Cruz does not belong there either. I have no trespassing on her.
So according to you, somebody, one of your friends, went up to her and told her that she had no business being around your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Your block. And then what happened?
And there were 2 other neighbors that came up from the neighborhood. There were 2 other neighbors that came up from the neighborhood. And Miss Olivencia was cursing at one of them, calling him stupid, and saying things to the person. And he got
and where
very
was
upset.
she sitting or standing?
She was in her car with her window down a little.
Okay. Go
and
ahead.
she was telling him, "Shut up." He was stupid, cursing at him. And he was the one that damaged her car. I don't know who. He's a neighbor. He lives in the neighborhood. I don't know his last name. I spoke with Janika Cruz about this. She said she didn't want any involvement in this. I said, well, I don't know who they were, because she said that Mrs. Olivencia wanted it for her insurance company. And I said, well, I don't know who those 2 men were, because they were from the neighborhood. They were trying to help my witness, my other witness that was there, the girl that they surrounded that they tried to jump. They came out and they tried to stop them from jumping her.
Okay, she wasn't jumping anybody. She was in her car with the window rolled
Before
up.
she got into the car, Your Honor?
But then she was in the car.
Yes,
but then just listen to me. But then she was in the car. When she's in her car, she's not surrounding anybody.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, or whether you started to pull her hair, you went to her house, and that was stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Olivencia claims Stephanie Henry kicked her car during a fight outside of a men's prison.
You say you have a restraining order against her? Let me see it. So, Miss Cruz, there is a no trespass order against you for this housing complex.
Yes, there is.
So what were you doing there on May 11th?
She did that. I got that trespassing notice after the fact, and I called Stephanie back up, and she said, yes, I did it because of my boyfriend. Told her.
Just a second. When were you served with this notice?
I was served with that notice May 18th.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, after the fact.
You have any proof she was served with this notice before? It doesn't have a date on it.
No, Your Honor. They were waiting to serve that to her. They didn't know her location.
So they didn't serve it on her before May 11th?
No, they
All
had
right.
it already for her.
Now, were either of you arrested as a result of these incidents?
No, ma'am.
No.
Did either of you file criminal complaints against the other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I went right to the police station and I told
And
them
so
what
you
happened.
both did?
Yeah.
What happened with those cases?
We dismissed that.
Why?
All we did was pull hair and smack each other. That was it. I don't think we deserved to get a record over that.
And why did you dismiss it?
I have 3 children, Your Honor. It's very hard for me to go to court all the time with 3 children.
How old are your children?
7, 2, and 1-year-old.
Where is their father?
Mr. Wilfredo Ilaraza is incarcerated, and the other father I'm not with.
Can I see the damage for the taillight only, please?
Can I have the pictures of the
How
other?
many children do you have?
I have 1. I have the pictures of the other damage.
I'm not interested in the other damage.
Okay.
I have a feeling that both of you ladies deserve each other. You had no business being at her housing complex after this kind of incident.
true.
So whatever happened to you, you deserved. Do you understand? I mean, I'd like to throw you out entirely because it sounds to me as if you both behaved badly. But I find no excuse for you kicking her blinker.
Your Honor, I was trying to move away.
No, baloney. Full of baloney. Moving away. Then you move away.
As
Move
I was
away and
moving,
kick is something else.
She tried to hit me, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Move away. Walk to someplace safe when you
I
have
went
your
like
baby
this
in your
with my
hand.
son,
Yeah,
and
I know.
my foot hit her
I
blinker.
understand. Believe me, madam. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Get out of here. Parts is $101. Body labor, $195.20. That you'll pay for yourself. Ridiculous. A, whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, you did to each other. Whether you started to pull her hair or she started to pull your hair, both acted like idiots. My problem is that after this altercation, you went to her house.
I didn't go to her house.
To her apartment complex. And that was stupid.
It was.
So if your car got damaged going to her apartment complex, you pay for it. You pay for your own stupidity. But I find that you had absolutely no reason to kick her car. I also find that this is an inflated estimate of repair. So I'm going to give you the cost of the parts, which is $101.26. You paid to have it fixed yourself. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff, $101.
Versus Mosley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young folks, have a seat, please.
The mothers were not at this birthday party, is that right?
That's correct.
But from what I read, and I will speak to the children who were involved, you are suing Miss Mosley because, according to your complaint, the actions of her son caused your daughter to break her foot.
That's correct.
And you are suing her for $5,000 for sordid medical bills and, I assume, some part of that for pain and suffering. Is
That's
that right?
correct.
Well, I have to figure out what happened. So I'd like the two of you to have a seat, please, while I speak to the children. You're Felicia.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, Felicia?
I'm 12.
And whose birthday party was this?
One of the kids there, but I don't know their names. I was invited by my mom's friend's daughter.
And I gather that they had in the backyard one of these enclosed things where you go in and jump around?
Yes.
I've seen them. My grandchildren have them at their parties. And there's walls all around it. And kids sort of go in, they take off their shoes, and they jump around like crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in this apparatus, and Devon was there.
Yes.
How many other kids were in the jumping apparatus?
A couple of them, but some couldn't go in there because they were wet, because they were swimming.
So tell me what happened when you were inside.
Let me see. When I first went in there, I was jumping around, and Davon kept pulling me over, pushing me down, and Rachel down. I told him to stop, and he just kept on doing it. And then I told him to stop at the point where he stopped. Then what happened was he started saying, like, I want to pick my pillow, I want to jump on my pillow, and I love my pillow like an armadillo and things like that. And then he started...
He was just being a boy.
Yes, and then what happened was he was jumping on top of girls, and he was on top of girls, they were asking him to get up and all that stuff. And then other girls, they just didn't pay attention, they didn't let him off. So what I did was I dragged him off saying, get off of her, because that's not fair that he was on top of her.
So you went over where he was involved with another child, and you physically pulled him off.
Yes, I said, get off of her.
No, listen to me. You physically pulled him off.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what happened next?
And then what happened was he started doing it to me. And then what happened
What do you mean he started doing what to you?
He started jumping on top of me.
Okay.
And then he started to do it more, and I told him to stop. Then he got on top of me and said, how come my pillow has such soft legs? I said, get off me. And then he started saying that, how come my pillow has such a big butt? And then I said, just get off me, back up before I slap you. It didn't feel right. He just was talking about my body and saying this and that. And then it just got to the point where I got mad and I hit him physically. And then...
Where did you hit him?
Hit him on the back, trying to get him off me. He was on top of me. I was trying to hit him on the back, right? Because I got so sick of it. I went to go get a drink of water. I stepped out the apparatus and I went to go get a drink of water. And there's so many kids, you know, I didn't notice that he was still in there. Then he was in there, and I said, oh, not you again. And then he said, I want to rape my pillow. I just looked at him like disgusted at him. And then what happened was some of his friends or some other friends, guys came in.
By this time, there were a lot of people in there.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Because we started out with just a few, now we got to a lot. There were a lot of people in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're still in there?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't gone out for your drink of water yet?
Yes, I have.
Did you go out and come back?
Yes, because I didn't notice that.
Just a second. So you went out and got your water, and then you came back.
I didn't realize that he was in there, ma'am.
Don't tell me what you realized. You went out, you came back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then what happened was his friends came in there, and then they started, like, tackling me and pushing me down, kicking me, punching me. And then I was just, like, on the balloon floor, and what happened was I got kind of fed up, and I got mad, and I started hitting them back. And then what happened was I got mad at a full adrenaline force. I just started hitting them back. And then I started hitting them back. And then okay. And then I just hit
Felicia,
them.
I want you to hold on a second.
Okay.
And try to compose yourself. You want to take some water?
Fine.
Okay. Now, Felicia, they were pulling you.
No, they were like hitting me, punching me.
Where were they hitting you and punching you?
They were like on the right side of the balloon. They started hitting me and pushing me. I don't know if the adults saw me.
I'm not talking about pushing. That's what you do inside those things. You push everybody down and you jump on top of them. I mean, that's what that stupid thing is for. I'm talking about punching.
Yeah, they hit me. They kicked me. I saw Davon. They hit me. They were wrestling me like you do on TV. And then what happened was Davon.
That's his friends.
Right, and then Davon, he was doing flips on me. He missed me several times or more, and then he started coming at me, towards me, and I kicked him away from me. I pushed him because I got mad. I started hitting his friends in self-defense. And then when I was leaving, someone said, look behind you. I looked behind me. I saw a foot come at me. And so when I went to when I touched the ground, I saw my foot go like that and it bent. And while I was crying and suffering, they were all looking. I'm going to say a couple of curse words. Will you allow me? They were saying this is in trouble and call the ambulance and all that stuff and just making fun of me, laughing and just saying derogatory remarks at me. And then when they lifted me up, and put me on a chair, I saw behind me and he was just playing a Game Boy. And he didn't even apologize.
And you got hurt and you broke your foot.
Yes, I had to get surgery.
Okay. Let's hear.
Well, everyone in the jumper was wrestling, and she came in and she asked could she play. So we started playing, and then, like, she got out because she said she didn't want to play anymore. And she came back in, and we were all wrestling, and we were having flip contests, and and I accidentally hit her because she was in the way. And then
Who were you wrestling with?
Well, the guys were wrestling with the girls. And then I stopped wrestling with her. I started wrestling with my cousin. And I pinned my cousin on the ground. And then she came over and she dragged me and she said, get off, and she kicked me. And then everyone else started wrestling again. And like there was water and soap on the ground from the kids who were swimming. So it was slippery and she was leaving and I slid and I hit her. And she fell out and twisted her leg.
Well, when you slid and hit her, is that the exact moment that she fell down?
Yes.
So you did, in fact, kick her.
Yes.
And according to you, it was a little bit of an accident.
Yes, it was.
Maybe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Anything else that you would consider sexual? What does that mean?
I was thinking.
Well, think harder.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 12-year-old Felicia Hunter says 11-year-old Devon Miller broke her foot while clowning around in a jumping apparatus.
How many times did she hit you? I'm not talking about playing around and pushing. I'm talking about hitting you.
About twice.
And how many times did she pull you off this other girl that you were on top of? Just once? Were you annoyed with her?
Kinda. I stopped playing with her.
But you were annoyed with her. Did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Yes.
Why did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Because I wasn't playing with her and she just started hitting me.
Because she was interfering. Is that right?
Yes.
So you thought she was butting into your business?
Yes.
I have a couple of other questions to ask you, Devon. So far, you've been very honest with me, which is in your favor. Were you saying anything to her about sleeping on your pillow?
No.
And did you say anything to her like
I
that?
didn't say anything to her. I told my cousin that she was my pillow.
Okay, but when you're playing, you're not whispering that to your cousin. You're
No.
sort of saying it loud, right?
Yes.
So she was right there, so she heard you. Devon, right?
Yes.
So far, you're doing okay, Devon. Don't let me down now. Did you say anything, Devon, about her having a soft part of her body?
No.
Nothing else about raping your pillow?
No.
Anything else that you would consider sexual?
No.
What? What does that mean?
I was thinking.
Well, think harder. You don't go to jail for this, Devon. This is just the time for honesty, okay? So let's hear.
No.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
Did you say anything to anybody else there about her of a sexual nature?
No.
You knew her from before this party?
No.
Or was it the party the first time you ever saw her?
First time.
Really? Did you know the other kids at the party?
Not
Some of them?
everyone.
What did you think of her, Devon, when she first started to play with you?
I thought she wanted to play because we were all wrestling and she just started playing.
Now, Felicia, why did you go back into the jumping apparatus when you left and went and got a drink if it was unpleasant in there?
I didn't notice that he was in there.
I know what these things look like. Unless there are 50 people in there, then you notice somebody is in there. Or you look if somebody has made your life unpleasant.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Right.
You know, you're 12?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're smart enough. If somebody's made your life unpleasant in there, you look. You say, I'm not going back in there because those guys are acting a little too wild. Because they were all acting a little wild.
That wasn't my fault.
Right. Okay, now I'll see the moms. No, I want you kids to stay up there. If you can stand, can you stand up on your foot, Felicia?
I can't put any weight on it.
No, I mean, but can you stay with your mom?
Yeah.
Or you want to sit down?
I'll stay.
Okay. All right, so you got to the party, took her, she was x-rayed, foot is broken. This happened late August, is that right?
Right.
And you have substantial medical bills?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have health insurance?
Yes.
What were your unreimbursed medical bills?
Well, to date, Your Honor, our medical expenses are approximately $9,157.92. And I don't know if that is the extent of that.
$9,000 if you have medical insurance is not going to be your bill.
Well,
Ms.
yeah,
Hunter.
that is the total. That's the total amount of bills that have come into the
It's not what I'm talking about, Ms.
Okay.
Hunter.
20. Okay,
You
I
have insurance.
That's correct.
And you are going to use your insurance because that's what insurance is for.
That's correct.
What kind of plan do you have?
20% of the contracted fees.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a $250 deductible.
Okay, let me see that, please.
Which, what, the bills?
I want to see the bills in your
Okay.
contract where it says that you're responsible for 20%.
Okay. Here are the bills. And this is a summary of our medical plan, and this is the plan that I'm under. I circled it.
Okay. So your office visits, you have the $10 copay, is that right, for your office visits?
Yes.
Okay, and the hospital, you have to pay 20% of your hospital bill.
Right.
So you had a hospital bill of $7,262, is that right?
That's correct.
And then you had orthopedic surgical? Mm-hmm. Was that done at the hospital or the doctor's office?
The doctor's office. That was for the cast.
Is your portion of that $10? You don't know that?
No.
I mean, there's a tremendous bill, but that's an entire bill.
Right.
It says doctor's office visits are $10. When did this happen?
August the 26th.
Well, did you submit these bills?
They've been submitted to the insurance company.
Have you paid any of these bills?
They have not paid.
No, have you paid any of the bills?
No, I have not been billed for them.
Your problem, Ms. Hunter, is as follows. You want the defendant's mother to be responsible for $5,000, and I have no idea of what your out-of-pocket expenses are going to be.
Well, I'm not suing. I know that my responsibility will probably not exceed $2,000. That's the 20% that I'm responsible for. Now, beyond that, I'm suing Ms. Mosley for punitive damages for what the injury that her son has caused my daughter.
No. Listen to me. There are certain things that children do that I believe that their parents knew or should have known that they had that kind of propensity, and they allowed the child to, for instance, have access to a weapon, have access to a gun, have access to a knife, have access to certain things, then they are responsible. When you send your child to a birthday party and they choose and elect, at your daughter's age, she's a big girl, she's 12 years old, to go into an apparatus where kids are acting like fools, 12-year-olds, they're jumping all over each other. According to your daughter, she was the one who first put her hands on him. I mean, other than in play. She didn't like the way he was on top of another girl. She dragged him off. She slapped him at one point. Now, I'm absolutely certain that Devon, although he did a very stupid thing, didn't mean for your daughter to break her foot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's what kids do in that thing. You stay there for a long time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Felicia Hunter says she was harassed and assaulted by 11-year-old Devon Miller. She claims it resulted in a broken foot.
Now, Felicia.
Your Honor, I have something to say.
What?
Beginning when I first entered, he put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's what kids do in that thing, Felicia. That's what you get in there for. You stay there for a long time. If you went in there and the kids were jumping around and pulling you down, at your age, you say, I don't like this kind of game. I'm going to go out and find something else to do with this birthday party if you didn't like that game. You know that. We're not playing pin the tail on a donkey here. You know, that's a nice quiet game that kids used to play. They don't play that anymore. Now they rent these big apparatus and kids go in there and they act like fools, but you're 12 years old. If it was getting too rough, you get yourself out of there. I'm not blaming you for breaking your foot, but I certainly don't believe that he intended to cause you to break your foot, or more importantly, that his mother had any notice or any knowledge that he was going to do something that day to injure somebody, and nor did she provide him with the apparatus to do it. You understand? If a parent, for instance, leaves a set of car keys in the car and leaves a 6-year-old in the car, and the 6-year-old manages to turn on the car and drive, and the car starts to roll and they injure somebody, then the parent is responsible for the action of the 6-year-old or the 8-year-old or the 10-year-old or the 12-year-old. But in this case, what proof do you have that this woman had any inkling that her son was going to do something like that?
Well, I don't, but she is responsible for the actions of her child.
Just a second. There you are right to this extent, Miss Hunter. There's no question that Devon here gave her a little nudge when she was getting out of the jumping station, right? You say it was an accident, you slipped on water. I'm not so sure, Devon.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I believe that Miss Mosley would be responsible for your unreimbursed medical bills. He caused the damage. Somebody's got to be responsible for out-of-pocket. And I believe that that should be Miss Mosley. But you don't know what your out-of-pocket is yet. We're going to do this. You wait until you get a statement as to what your insurance paid.
Okay.
Miss Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills. I can tell you both that you should be able to handle this without coming back to court and say, here are my bills, here are the checks that I was given from the insurance company, here are the outstanding bills, you cover them.
Okay.
If you can't do that, I'll dismiss your case without prejudice. You can come back to me with the bills, and I will order her to pay that. Do you understand? So let's be perfectly clear. You're suing for $5,000. There is no way that I am going to award you punitive damages against Miss Mosley because there is no indication that she knew her son would be involved with that kind of physical activity on that day. Okay. I do, however, believe, as I indicated, that between the two of you, you should not have any out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay.
Your daughter wasn't too smart. She's not blameless in this thing. She stayed there. She participated in the frivolity, right?
Yes.
She did put her hands on him.
Yes.
So I don't believe that either one of these two kids entered that arena that day intending that she end up with a broken foot and all that surgery that was required to make her whole again.
Okay.
So do you want me to enter an order that, Miss Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills as they are presented to you?
Yes.
Good. That's all. We'll prepare an order that the defendant shall be responsible for any unreimbursed medical claims arising out of this incident.
Quite welcome. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Ms. O'Neill, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and according to your complaint, the defendant used your credit cards. You had not given him permission to use the credit cards, and he racked up bills in excess of $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant says that he had the right to use your credit cards. You had given him permission.
Correct.
You have a counterclaim, sir, that it's a whole potpourri of stuff. You claim that you put a lot of money in a truck that she kept and some other stuff, which you will explain to me later. Miss O'Neill, when were you and the defendant living together?
He moved in late September.
And tell me about the credit cards.
The credit cards are in my name and my name only. The credit cards had a zero balance, and I took the defendant once to go shopping for his children for Christmas presents. I was aware of that, and I'm not disputing those charges. And we also had put a down payment on my ring on that same credit card. He said it was his responsibility, and so when the statement came, he would make the payment directly to the credit card company. He'd give the envelope to me sealed, and I would mail it from my place of business, and so on and so forth.
He took the bill sealed?
He took the bill, he sealed and I'm assuming opened it to pay it, but I never...
But you never opened the bills?
I didn't see the bill because, again, it was his responsibility because it was presents for his children and, again, for the deposit on the ring. I didn't see the statement because I had nothing on there at that time. And, Your Honor, I really do feel like this matter was something that was brought forth premeditated. I think that he...
Okay, so let's get to the story and then we'll discuss whether it was premeditated or not.
Okay. I had the credit cards put safely in my bedroom because I was not going to be...
Well, so far you had one credit card that he used. What about the... You said now you had
There's
another
a second
credit card.
that had gotten mailed to me that I did not use anything for. We took one trip to Tahoe that we did use. And again, I'm not disputing those charges. We charged about $150 that weekend. So what had happened was I placed the Visa in the headboard of the bed, and then when the MasterCard came, I also put it with that as well.
When did you discover that there were excessive balances on the credit card?
On March 27th, I received a notice that there was a certified letter at the post office waiting for Jason that was for a storage unit that I had had my bed in that had all of his other belongings in it. So I was a little suspicious because obviously it wasn't a Christmas card, it was probably an eviction, and that means that he was back a couple months. So I confronted him that evening, and I asked him, how are we doing on the bills in general, my ring, the storage, you know, little things like that. He said, oh, honey, you know, we're caught up, we're fine, and he also got offended that I would even ask him something like that. So he was at that point lying to my face. So that morning when he left for work on the 28th, I went through a side of his bed that there were drawers that he kept a number of receipts and tax return information. When I found the credit card statement, I noticed that I also found forged receipts that have my name forged in his handwriting, and also a lot of the receipts in his possession matched my credit card statements with an outrageous balance. So
what was the balance?
The balance on the credit card was almost $6,000. That was the Visa, and the MasterCard was about $1,500.
You have those statements?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please.
Did you want to see the forged receipts too?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the receipts, and then these are some information along with my copies of my time card as to...
No, just give me the receipts, please, and the balance that you found on each of the cards. Am I correct that there was some cash withdrawals as well?
Correct. And I've never made a cash withdrawal, and I don't know how he got the PIN, but my name's Aaron, and he had commented once before that he had called for insurance purposes on the truck, that he used my name, Aaron, and he thought it was kind of humorous that he could get information using my name. And so I'm assuming he might have used that method to obtain a PIN number because I don't know my PIN. I've never used cash advance.
Did you ever get a PIN number yourself?
I never received one myself. I don't know if one was ever mailed or, because I don't use that. And Your Honor, on a lot of the forgeries too, he's misspelled my name, so.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Your Honor, I have some proof here, some letters here showing that she did give me permission to use the credit cards.
Mr. Valley, let's start from the beginning, sir. I want you to start with where you got the credit cards from, when you took them out and used them and signed her name.
Your Honor, I used the credit that she gave me the credit cards to hold in my wallet. There was nothing in, no coverage or nothing like that. She gave them to me when we go out at night and stuff like that. She didn't want to carry a purse, so she gave me her driver's license and her credit cards. Sometimes she'd have a little too much to drink or something like that, and we're checking out, okay, and it's like, you know, we're signing away, and she'll say, just sign the credit card. I didn't think this was a problem. I had no idea. I always had the credit cards in my possession because when I first met her, she used to keep her credit cards in the freezer, in a bowl of water, okay, because she had using the credit cards too much. She racked up bills and stuff like that.
Yes.
When I first moved in, you know, she says, okay, you know, pay a minimum rent, you know, here's my credit cards, you pay off your credit cards, okay, and she says, well, you know, I have a better interest rate, and that let's use my credit cards when we need them, as long as you pay me back. And I was making the payments, I was paying her back.
There we go. As long as you pay me back.
Yes.
Okay, you see, you keep talking. Sometimes if I let you keep talking, and you stick both feet in your mouth. So, you acknowledge, sir, let me take your best case scenario, that you used her credit cards, but the agreement was you would pay for those credit card bills.
Correct.
So why didn't you pay them?
I was paying. I have proof here that I was paying them every month.
How much were you
Okay,
paying?
I was paying $140 a month.
So therefore, Mr. Valley, you acknowledge that you owe her $5,000.
No.
Well, explain that to me, sir.
Because
either you took the credit cards, pay attention to what you just said. Either you took the credit cards, as she says, without her permission, or you had her permission, but your agreement was that you would be paying a minimal rent and you would take care of all the charges on the credit cards. That's what you just told me a moment ago. So explain to me why you don't owe her $5,000.
I was to take full responsibility of what I put on the credit cards, Your Honor.
That's not what you told me, sir.
Well, that's
I mean,
what
how does that work out? You order 2 egg roll, you pay for yours and you don't pay for hers?
No, Your Honor.
You you put gas in the car, you split that down the middle. How does that work?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock.
No, I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old.
And later today,
I apologized and I told her I was late on the payment and that I would get to it. She...
Talk. Did you make March's payment?
No.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aaron O'Neill says ex-fiancé Jason Valley forged her signature to make unauthorized credit card charges. Jason says he had permission.
Go ahead.
If you look on the credit card statements, it shows her charges, then my charges, her charges, then my charges.
I'm talking about your charges, which are in excess of $5,000, sir. Not her charges, the charges that you made, whether it be for gas or restaurants or anything else. Now, are you telling me now that your agreement was that you would split those charges 50-50?
We never had that agreement, no.
So your agreement was that you were supposed to pay the credit cards?
For my charges, yes.
Right. All right. So we just took care of that. Give a guy long enough and he always just gets right in there. All right, Mr. Valley, now let's get to your counterclaim, sir. Let's start with this truck that you say she owes you money for.
Back in October, we purchased a 98 Chevy extended cab four-wheel drive together. Okay, my financing wasn't going to be the greatest. She said, let's put it in my name, we'll get a cheaper finance rate. The Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock. It was no add-ons, no nothing. I purchased lift kit, all kinds of accessories, And when we broke up, she came to my shop saying, I want the truck. I said, that's not a problem. I will take my stuff off. I will put your tires back on, do whatever has to be done. No, I want it now. I said, well, you know, I'd like to have my property. And she says, no, take me to court.
Yes.
Okay. We purchased the truck? No. I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old. I purchased the vehicle myself.
Who's making the payments on the truck?
He was making the payments on the truck, which I also show that he was also delinquent on the payments for the truck. So I had to pay $500 just to get current when all of this happened.
Who's making payments on the truck now?
He was. Oh, I am.
Now?
Oh, I am.
Okay. Is the truck in your name?
Yes. Always has been.
Did you ever make an arrangement with him that he would be reimbursed for any additions or any modifications that he put on the truck?
No.
All right. Now let's leave the truck for a minute. Did you enter some sort of a contest with him?
Yes.
All right. And that's the last part of your counterclaim, sir, that she owes you for half the prizes that were awarded to you as a couple from this dream wedding contest, which turned out to be not a dream wedding.
Nightmare.
So tell me about that.
We won gift certificates to different places like jewelry stores, and it was like $3,000 in gift certificates.
Okay.
हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल। आज मैं आपके साथ शेयर करने जा रहा हूँ जज जूडी का नया एपिसोड जो आप देख रहे हैं, जो आप देख चुके हैं मुकम्मल तौर पर। आपने इसको एडिट कैसे करना है, कैसे इसको कंप्लीट करना है, सारी डिटेल आपके साथ शेयर करता हूँ। तो वीडियो घंटे तक लाजमी से देखिएगा। चैनल को जरूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा, वीडियो को लाजमी से लाइक कीजिएगा। बाकी और खैरियत है, कभी असलियत फैक्ट है ना, कोई मसला मसाइल तो नहीं है। अच्छा, सही है। बस वॉच टाइम पूरा हो जाए, मसला नहीं है। फिर मसला सारा वॉच टाइम का पड़ता है ना, इसी वजह से ये सारे जुगाड़ करने पड़ते हैं। बिल्कुल। बाल भी सारे गिर रहे हैं ना, अभी बंद न जाए तो गिर गए। अच्छा, अच्छा दोस्तों, परेशान तो नहीं है, कुछ परेशान होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है इसमें। ये जस्ट वो बनाई जा रही वीडियो, आप लोगों ने परेशान नहीं होना, समझे? वीडियो रिकॉर्ड हो जाए। अच्छा दोस्तों, और कोई परेशानी तो कोई नहीं है, परेशान नहीं होना चाहिए। अच्छा दोस्तों, और सुनाओ, और कोई मसला मसाइल तो नहीं है कोई? यार कोई मसला मसाइल हो तो बताओ, हम हल तो नहीं कर सकते, बता तो हो बंदे को। अच्छा, खैर खैरियत है, माने खैरियत है। बस 10 मिनट की वीडियो रिकॉर्ड हो जब बात ख़त्म है, सही है ना? जज जूडी Kim 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 yeah। अच्छा दोस्तों, और सारा कुछ खैर खैरियत है ना? कोई मसला तो नहीं है? नहीं मसला हो तो बता, वो मसला नहीं है यार। Kim Kim yeah, Kim 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 ते चैनल भी तो सब्सक्राइब किया करो। अच्छा, यूट्यूब का ये एल्गोरिथम होता है जो आपको समझ नहीं आता है। आ जाएगा, थोड़ा वेट करो, वेट थोड़ा सब्र किया करो, थोड़ा समझ आइए। टेंशन नहीं लेने का, वक्त आते रहता है। ये बाल मेरे सारे गिर रहे हैं यार, गंजा हो गया हमारा, गंजा। छोटे करवाते हैं यार, ये अभी नहीं कितने दिनों से। ये हमारे 10 मिनट की वीडियो बन जाएगी, सही है। अच्छा ठीक, तो ठीक है दोस्तों।